watched this for a while, and I was filled with bile, till it was time to throw the disc away. Sometimes it's hard to analyze what I saw with my own eyes, but it's too late. It's just too late, I say. Too late, I say. This film is bloody awful. It's splitting at the seams. It's good for the eye candy. Elektra's fighting into jeans. I lent the disc to my friend Dave. I told him to be brave. Now he's watched the film, he'll never talk to me again. I hate the film more every day. I wish I never pressed play. Every night I cry. I can't close my eyes. Can't close my eyes. This film is bloody awful. It's splitting at the seams. It's good for the eye candy. Elektra's fighting into jeans. This film is bloody awful. It's splitting at the seams. It's good for the eye candy. Elektra's fighting into jeans. This film is bloody awful. It's splitting at the seams. It's good for the eye candy. Elektra's fighting into jeans. This film is bloody awful. It's splitting at the seams. It's good for the eye candy. Elektra's fighting into jeans. Just get myself into position now. Oh yeah, here comes the samurai sword. Once it's achieved, I must draw blood.
Hello and welcome to episode 180 of the Blackdog podcast.
We should have got Jackie, or whatever that fucking announcer's name is that does the darts. All to play for.
In what does
three in the bed.
Sid Wardell, is
that who it is?
Could be.
Could be.
Is it that Tony bloke who was on Bullseye?
It is Tony. Listen to Tony.
Listen to Tony. He'll lead you right.
What do you do for a living? I'm unemployed. Oh, super smashing lovely.
You'll really appreciate this speedboat then.
Yeah, you won't be able to fuel the fucker nor drag it out of the studio.
You live on the Yorkshire Moors.
I live up Ben Nevis. You'll love this, people. Anyway, hello. Welcome to 180, which I'm calling Lips.
For these big prize?
No, I'm calling it Lips, Hips, and Samurai Tips.
Ooh, very good.
Oh, I'm getting creative again.
Oh, you are.
Ooh, yes. Look at that. I probably won't be that. It'll be called something like Titty Bang Bang or something by the end of it. Anyway. Welcome to this week's episode. This week, I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
And also last week I was Lee and he was Darren. And obviously last week we had Jim Moon and this week we have Jim Moon.
We do.
Hello, folks.
There he is.
I'll just start him up.
Yes, we got Jim Moon on again. You know what? Because it's bloody good fun. And normally when Darren nods off, I've actually got someone to talk to.
Yeah. Smooth transition.
Smooth transition. It's like 24-hour news networks.
Exactly, yeah.
As one goes to sleep, the other one carries on.
like a projectionist at a cinema, just gets those reels in there so you don't notice the actual cut-off point.
Yeah, and then drops off. So there you go. So yeah, so Jim's third act autopilot host. So anyway, this week we've got some news. Hopefully, we've got a shitty superhero. Do we have a profanasaurus, sir?
We do.
Lovely. And then we will be having a little chat, and we will also have Jennifer Garners' Elektra, which I shake my fist at Jim Starro across the planet because he fucking suggested it.
Yeah, and then he had to watch it.
Yeah.
The wheels of karma turn very quickly these days, I think you'll find.
like the rotary wheel on a fucking Ferrari. Anyway, so before we get to that, let's see how everyone's week's been. So, Jim, let's start with you. How's your week been, sir?
I've been rather busy. I had unscheduled trips to the dentist after I bit into a sandwich and my teeth came out.
Lovely.
Thankfully, it's one that had already been buggered up by the dentist, which is why it fell out, I heavily suspect. And so it's already been root canaled. So, but I'm back for more muppetry and have it root canaled again and a new crown fitted on the stupid thing.
Lovely.
At this point, I should note that I'm really dental phobic in every way, shape.
I've kind of left my body for a while.
I'm getting more and more afraid. Kind of. I swear they just make work for themselves. This tooth will self-destruct.
Yeah,
we'll have the bastard back again in 6 months to fix this again.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. If they get paid for fixing people's teeth, why would you go for a toothpaste that they recommend? Dentists recommend this toothpaste. Fuck that noise. Go for the one they don't.
Yes, you fight tooth decay by scrubbing your teeth with an abrasive. Yeah, that'll work.
Vim for your teeth.
Here's a Brillo pad. Go on.
Come on. Moving away from the dentist. Moving away from the dentist. Come on,
yes.
Jim.
You're going to teach you at an event with a spider now, aren't you? Because that will really make Lee's day.
Go on, Jim.
Oh, funny you should mention that. I did trip over a spider.
What?
You tripped over a spider? What was it, like the size of a car or something?
Well, it was about the size of a small cat, I think.
Holy.
It's that.
All my Christmases have come at once.
I thought I would throw it out, and I thought, no, I'll just charge it rent. So, but moving on to more salubrious matters, seem to be much in demand once again. I recorded a little pod of horrors with dogs and Mr. Cartoon Bod Bosman.
Oh, cool.
Discussing Argento's Deep Red, which should hit the airwaves at some point.
Nice, good.
And I was also asked to be interviewed by a German Lovecraftian podcast, the Arkham Insiders.
Wow. So, did they hear your Boys from Brazil podcast?
I don't think they have.
We'll have you back on for Downfall straight after. Okay, cool.
But other than that, I think probably the highlight of my week was involving in some phone terrorism today.
Oh, yes.
The past week, I have been bothered by a mystery caller who's kept ringing me. Half the time you pick up, there's nobody there. Then you get something that sounds like it's been come from King Tubby's dub machine. Hello. Can I speak to Mr. Boop, Boop, Boop? Anyhow, I checked the number.
I'm trapped down a well.
I checked the number online, and it turns out, actually, this number is one of these absolute bastard companies who ring people up and say, oh, we're from Microsoft, you've got a virus on your computer.
Oh, I love them.
And then charge you a fortune for a software package for you to download, which also infects your computer with real viruses.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to have some fun with this twat.
Nice.
when he caught me at tea time today. And so I started out spinning it out and was playing like the doddery old man.
Right.
Mouse, right, mouse. I've only... What do you mean? You know what I mean? It's like the pedal you step on and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I spent it on for about 15 minutes. And then he asked me some questions. Oh, we haven't tracked it, because one of the things they get you to do is to install software so then get remote access to your machine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not coming up on my system, sir. And suddenly I changed one and said, well, that's because I've been playing you along. We have traced this phone call, and my associates will be paying you a visit very, very shortly. And there was a sign that said, are you the police? I said, no, we're not the police. I hope you enjoy your beating, Sonny. And then he rang off.
Shocking. I don't know why he did that. Why?
You could hear him shit himself all the way from here.
That echo was actually the internal echo off his own bowel after finishing that. Well, actually, Jim, when we get round to my week, I might be able to use you again. But anyway, we'll come to that in a minute. So, cool. So a bit of time wasting of those bastards who call you up. So, anything else, or was that your highlight?
That's been about pretty much it, doesn't that?
I think you can't really top that. Excellent. So, Darren, over to you, sir. What has your week been like?
Well, this week I did take myself off to the cinema with the lady, and we went and saw Gravity. Yes, not that song from Wicked. I'm talking about the film with George Clooney and Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Or as someone I know said, someone who's a lot older than me said, it's that nice man from the coffee adverts. And that.
That's it. Yeah, I want an espresso. There we go.
The nice man from the coffee adverts.
George Clooney is in the space capsule. Yeah, Nespresso. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I need a lot of these to get myself down. Put a few of those capsules up.
Indeed.
Go on. Anyway.
So Gravity. Yes. Now that I've actually seen it, are we going to do a 10-minute spoiler zone on this?
I don't know, Jim. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it. No.
No, we're not.
Okay. Well, what I will say about it is mainly about the 3D.
Yes.
As you've said about the 3D, it was very good, very well used. I've got to agree. They've used the 3D for what 3D should be used for, which is depth.
Yes.
And the opening shot of Planet Earth, it's brought to you in. It's kind of just it fucking just hits you in the face. You know, it's just there, and it's like it's as if you. I mean, I don't know about you, but I felt like I was about to fall out of an open. Sort of like,
Pretty
door
much.
on an aeroplane.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Whoa.
Yeah, because there's no warning about it. There's no like slow panning up to it. It's just suddenly there. And it's in full glorious 3D.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as much as I do moan about 3D movies, I mean, mainly for good reason of it is just used as a gimmick to sell the film. It's not, in a lot of films, it's not particularly done well. You can always tell a bad film, I think, 5 seconds after the film started, because if the logo that you see at the beginning of the film is in really good 3D, you can bet your life the rest of the film is going to be shit where 3D is concerned. Right? I give you evidence. Piece of evidence number 1, Your Honour. Yeah, Tron Legacy. Okay, the whole Disney 3D, the whole Disney logo was in fantastic 3D. The rest of the film wasn't. Okay. I think there's a bit where Jeff Bridges turns to the camera or something, but it's just like the film itself was too dark. It's like everything behind the characters is black, so you don't get the sense of depth because it's just it's an image on a black background, so there's nothing to show distance or anything like this. It's just that's what it was like. But no, this used it. It used it really, really well. I have to say, it's probably the best use of 3D. It's one of the best uses of 3D since Avatar. I thought Pacific Rim was very good as well.
Yeah.
You know, that was used for.
But if you don't see it in
effect.
3D, you don't feel like you've lost much.
No, not with that. But I think Gravity is more of an experience than anything else. There were one or two bits I thought could have done with chopping down a bit, because there are one or two scenes that do kind of drag on with the same visual effect. There's
no spoilers.
No spoilers, but there's one scene in particular where it's focused on Sandra Bullock's face mask, and that goes on for far too long before it moves on, and I was like, all right, get to the point.
Yeah.
You know,
but
so yeah, in general, a very good film. It's kind of dulled my wanting to go into space and look at the planet from orbit, just because of like, Jesus Christ, it's all so big. There's nothing below my feet. What am I going to grab onto? You know, it's that. It brings it home to you how big space is.
Yeah, you might just think it's a long way down the shops to the chemist.
Exactly.
But that's just peanuts.
Compared to space, yes. So yeah, a top film. Not one if you want action all the way, because there's certain parts of it. No, it's not.
Well, it's 92 minutes. I mean, there's not an awful lot of spare slack, I think. It's just one long action scene.
I was struggling on one bit.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that maybe another time.
Yeah. But yeah, just go. Good performances all round.
Cool. Anything else?
No, that's about it, really. It's been a very, very slow week for me this week. So
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's start from good to bad.
Go on then.
Let's go from good to bad. Well, firstly, good is only just recently, as in very, very recently, I got quite a good CG gig, which is only going to be like 2 weeks, but it might fuck up the schedule on the cast for the next 2 weeks. Don't really want to say it publicly on a podcast. I've put it on my Facebook wall. I will probably put it in the Facebook group once things are underway. But yes, I'm reasonably pleased. I did. I mean, like I say, if you've been on Facebook, you'll know what I'm talking about. Have you? Do you know what I'm talking about, Jim?
No, I've not been on Facebook.
I'm
gonna go now, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a 2 week gig picking up some motion graphics on a film that's going to be out fairly soon.
Quite a big film as well.
Fairly big film. Yes. Not necessarily a good film. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Could be another sucker punch.
I really hope not. I don't want to have any part of anything. I don't want my name on something that's... Well, actually, I'm going to have to get used to that.
It's all your fault, Metcalf.
I think I'm going to be working on approximately about 1 minute and 20 seconds worth of stuff. So I'm not exactly going to be responsible for the quality of the script. So that was really
CG
good.
teabags were fantastic. Yes, they were done by a friend of mine.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm doing that, and that's going to... I think the thing's getting delivered on the 4th of December. So that's the day after we record for next week. So I might end up, depending on how much of the schedule requires me to bash my head against the mat, against the screen.
Are you allowed to reveal to the boys and girls what film it is you're working on?
Well, I mean, I don't see why not, but it doesn't mean to say, I just don't want to curse it by sort of chucking it out there into the public domain.
So in which cases you'll just find it is going to be shit.
Well, no,
because the flack you are going to receive.
Look,
even though your part is very, very small in all this.
I don't think 1 minute 20 seconds of a potentially a 2 hour film is going to make an awful lot of difference.
Yeah, 1 minute 20 seconds. I mean that's a lot to people like Jet Lucas. I mean, they can get an awful lot of stuff out there. You know, it's a long time. 120 seconds is a long time in entertainment.
It is.
Yes.
Well, like I say, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you will have seen what it is if you go on my latest status. If not, then I'll reveal it. I'll reveal it once I've done my bit, and then that'll be fine. Then I can just walk away and say that anything made after that is nothing to do with me. So that was really good. And hopefully it'll lead to a lot more stuff as well, which is very good, because
we're not going to be reviewing that film on the podcast.
I don't think we will.
I like to eat, please.
I think reviewing anything I have any relation to at all is probably, well, it's not going to be entirely fair, is it?
No, because you see, I don't think you could probably give an honest example of, or an honest answer, because you'll either go too fawning, or it'll be too harsh on it because you don't want to seem like you're too fawning on it.
Or I can just point to the 1 minute 20 seconds I did and go, that was all right. The rest was shit.
Yeah. In the sea of shits, this 120 second oasis. Here you should go to.
Exactly. So, what else has happened? Well, then I got an email from PayPal, which informed me that someone had hacked my account and tried to charge up their phone with $87 worth of credit.
Did they succeed?
They did not. I did manage to stop that and intercept it because it was an e-check that they wanted to pay. And the funniest thing was I blocked it, stopped it. But you know what?
Yeah.
On the receipt, actually is the phone number of the guy who did it.
Really?
Yes.
Of course, you're not allowed to reveal that certain number. I mean,
well,
really, are you? I mean, because if you would, just say, right? Just say you were to read out the number now.
Hold
right?
on. I'm clicking on this.
I mean, bring it up just so that we make sure we don't actually read out a proper number. But let's just give the boys and girls an example of what we shouldn't be reading out.
I mean, yeah. Well, let's have a look. See, I mean, I wouldn't want to say anything that, the website makemerecharge.com was a dodgy company or anything. I wouldn't want to say that at
Allegedly.
all. Allegedly, Ridhiyama Traders LLC. I wouldn't say that they were trying to get one over on me at all. And I certainly wouldn't want to reveal that, the phone number for this guy is 07965 631 0943. I mean, because that would be utterly wrong.
Yeah, not that that's the number, of course.
No, not this number.
No.
But
we've left something out at the very beginning.
I'm sure I have. I mean, I know not that that's even a number. I mean, it's just a random collection of numbers.
It is
not even a telephone number of some skanky bastard who's tried to rob me of $82 or anything like that. So, I mean, for what I would not recommend anyone have a phone number of 07965 631 0943, because you know what, that could be linked to a lot of bad things.
Exactly, people could use that number.
That is a terrible way, and you could,
if that was the real number, of course.
If that was a real number, of course, and if anyone felt so inclined to sign it up to all sorts of porn chat lines and all sorts of things, I mean, that would be terrible. It would be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't ever sign up the phone number 07965 6310943 to anything bad. That would be terrible.
That would be terrible. It would be awful.
Don't try and send it some overseas texts,
no.
or any of that stuff. That would be bad.
No, not
that
at
would
all.
be terrible. So anyway,
especially if you get those emails from Nigerian princes, who are saying they want to give you lots of money. In fact, that might be a good thing, because that's like doing them a favour, isn't it? I mean, you're helping them get rich.
Yeah, because we know someone who's got money.
Yeah, I think maybe there you go.
$82 a month.
Yes.
Yeah. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, before I carry on, you just remember 07965 6310943. Just do what you want with it. Fuck him over. Fuck him over. Fuck him until his arse is red raw and he wish he never had that mobile phone. Do what you like with it. And if you do anything really funny, as long as it's not illegal, don't fucking get yourself into trouble or anything. But if you do anything that's immediately immensely funny, then by all means let me know, because that would make my day. 07965 6310943 chat line.
And whatever you do, just don't write that on a public toilet roll saying "ring this for cheeky bum sex." That would be
Just put it. Yeah, don't print it out on any cards and leave it in phone boxes.
No.
O and A levels. I love my job written across the top. Picture of Alicia Silverstone from 1990. No, don't do any of that. don't. I mean, I couldn't condone any of that at all. 07965 6310943.
Chat back.
Right, I'm deleting that before it tempts me anymore. Otherwise, I'll end up doing something live on air. But anyway, so that was an interesting thing. That. And the other interesting thing, or rather the painful thing of the week, painful things now, was basically, I don't know if you noticed, but in the kitchen, I have a chili plant.
You do?
I do.
Oh,
right, okay.
Oh, everyone's jumped ahead on this story already, but it's actually a genuine. It's right. Basically, it's.
Well, I know where this is going anyway because you told me about this the other day.
You,
Yes.
So basically, I've got the chili plant, and the chilies are now sort of nice and red and ripe. And there's a couple of really strong ones. I can't remember the type. I know they're not ghost chilies. That's thank Christ for that. And basically, kids came home from school. And they wanted to make pizzas. So they started making up pizza dough and Carol's helping them. And they're all sprinkling their own toppings on. And it's like, oh, it's all good little family thing. And I saw my chili plant. And I thought, they're all red. Love it. So I chopped up a couple. Threw them on the pizza. Put some cheese over the top. Lovely. Tasted them. They are lovely. Really peppery. Lovely taste. Anyway, after that, go to the toilet. I go to the toilet. And what I hadn't realised, because I thought I'd been really careful. See, I've been caught like this before.
Dear.
But I thought I'd been really careful. But what I didn't realise was because these chilies were so fresh, they were quite juicy as well. And so when I cut them, I'd obviously got some of the oil on the skin. And so then when it came to holding little Lee, it was an instantaneous reaction. I've never felt anything quite so painful in my life.
So little Lee became angry.
Became angry and
He looked angry anyway.
He became angry and inflamed in certain places, especially where my thumb and forefinger were.
No.
It was really weird. It was like I literally felt like I'd nailed my testicles to the floor. I really did. I thought I was some sort of Russian protester, sort of nailing my cock to a cobble.
Please tell me you didn't put it in water.
No, I didn't.
That's
No.
fine.
I didn't drown it in milk either.
You didn't?
No. But that was the thing.
Because that takes some explaining for the kids come home from school. You're standing there with your cock in a glass of milk. No, cock in a glass of moo juice. There we go. Now I know what this looks like.
I'm drinking it. I'm drinking it.
This is how elephants drink.
I'm feeding my pocket elephant.
So basically it was burning. It was really burning, and I thought, well, fucking hell, that's bad. So I'm kind of okay, kind of keep calm. Go out, put a little bit of sort of like E45 on it, calm it down, cool it down sort of thing. Which is cool, not entirely unenjoyable, I'll be honest with you. And that was that. And then I went out and I washed my hands. I've got E45 and chilies all over my fingers. So I went and washed my hands, went to the toilet. My crotch area is now starting to feel like an advert for one of those pads that you put on your back. There's a big red ring.
Burn, baby, burn, disco inferno.
Hot cock. Yeah. Anyway, so I've washed my hands thoroughly. I knew what it was like. I'm going to do that, yeah? Later on that night, go to the toilet again. Yeah, a bit later on. And I wiped my ass. And my finger went through the paper. That was bad enough. But touched the ring, and this stuff still hadn't gone. Firstly, exactly. So I had three things. I had the embarrassment of popping through the paper, which was bad enough. The fact that one of my fingers was covered in shit, and not only that, but I still had this deadly chili shit all over my fingers, even after I'd washed it like several times, and my arse was on fire. And I'll tell you what, again, I don't know what these chilies were. They weren't ghost chilies, but they're fucking strong. And I'll tell you what, it took about an hour before that bastard calmed down. And I, again, spent at least 20 minutes with my hands in the sink with very hot water, just trying to wash shit off and everything else. I actually think the chili actually burnt through the paper. I think I sabotaged myself. I think
I've got lyrics going through my head I'm rewriting Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire as we speak right now.
Anyway, so that was that. So that was pretty eventful. Yeah, my arse and my cock were on fire for hours. Yeah,
hours.
Yeah, took the focus off my shoulder, which was really hurting. I felt all right.
You should rub the chili juice on your shoulder for that deep heat relief.
Do you know what, Jim? I should. And I know Darren likes spicy stuff. So
I love spicy stuff. Yeah, I can't get enough of it.
You can try one of these chilies, man. They're really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So that was it, really. That's been it. I've set me cock and my arse on fire. I got a job on a really good film, which I can't talk about now because I'm probably going to get fired from it. And and I've just encouraged at least 300 people to embezzle a phone number.
Result.
So
my work here is done.
Yeah. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about it for the for the week. Let's have some news.
Hey, we're gonna hear some news now.
All right, yes.
Yes, right. Okay, so news. We'll get through this pretty quickly, hopefully. Yes, Empire this week. Bumped up their front cover with a picture, the first picture of the new improved Optimus Prime for the next Transformers movie, Transformers 4 Age of Extinction. And it has a picture of Mark Wahlberg looking very slightly confused. and Optimus Prime, who
confused Wahlberg.
Yeah,
he's confused.
He just looks vacant. He looks like he's just walked in through the door and someone said surprise, and he's like, what? But anyway, behind him is a humongous. Well, I don't know what it looks like, but it does look like it's a robot of some kind, Optimus Prime styley. So, what does everyone think of it? Because they've had a look at it. Jim, anyone help?
Well, I think you'd be a very cynical and twisted person who said they've remodeled Optimus Prime after seeing Pacific Rim. And I can only hope that Michael Bay, the penny's dropped and he's gone, oh, you do a long shot so people can see the fucking robots.
Yeah,
My God.
See them fighting and who's pulling what punch.
Nice.
Well, probably not. I mean, my view on the Transformers film franchise, I ain't watching another one unless it's a crossover with Thomas the Tank Engine. You had my money for Transformers 2, which I heartily regret. You're not getting any more. The fucking end. And I really mean it.
Yes, as Starscream destroys Henry with his pulse cannon. Fat Controller versus Megatron. Very short fight.
Thomas transforms into a 700-foot high robot.
Yeah, the Fat Controller tries to destroy Megatron with a rolled up newspaper, said Thomas.
Yeah. It was war on the island of Sodor. Oh dear. Let's move on to something else then. Right, okay. You know that there's been like endless attempts to make The Stand, Stephen King's The Stand.
Yes.
Again. It's not, I don't even like The Stand, but there you go. Apparently, the director for this latest version, Scott Cooper, has basically left the production, and before we even knew it existed.
Just imagine it. He goes, action, and all of a sudden you hear
I've just got to be me. And he drives off. So it's left Warner Brothers back at square one with the project. And basically, Scott Cooper apparently left because Warner's wouldn't even tell him how many films this had to be.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Wouldn't tell him what rating he was playing for.
No, it's a secret. Really?
So, so Warner Brothers are apparently wooing Paul Greengrass of, the Bourne Identity and Captain Phillips, and see if he will get on board for this film.
They're gonna have to give him a bit more information and doing the whole Mystic Meg thing. Ooh, yes, we want you on board to make a film. You want to make a film? Oh, okay. What's it going to be about? We can't tell you.
Yeah. But
you know too much.
But at the moment, there's So the problem is right now they're trying to get Paul Greengrass. Paul Greengrass has not responded. And probably he's just waiting to get a phone call back from Scott Cooper, who's going to say they don't know what they're doing. But apparently they've still.
Either he's checking with Jet Lucas.
Yeah, Jet Lucas knows.
Jet Lucas has seen the script; he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
He knows it's going to be 75 episodes. Is anyone actually looking forward to a movie adaptation of The Stand?
Not really.
No,
it's not one of my favourites. And for something like The Stand, if you're going to do it as a mini series.
Yeah. Don't do it as a film.
Don't do it as a film. It's too big.
Yeah,
it would work as a series, but not as a film. It's not my favourite Stephen King at all.
No,
either version, the long version or the even longer one.
Yeah, and
the director's cut did have nice Bernie Wrightson illustrations, which I did like.
Yeah, they were nice. But I couldn't watch any adaptation without thinking of my first impression in my head when finally God sort of steps in towards the end, and the way he's described in the book, it always reminds me of the old finger from the original National Lottery.
Yep,
it's you.
Yep,
and I just couldn't take it seriously.
The God from Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
Yeah. Oh, stop simpering. I hate it when bloody people simper.
You, stop that.
Yeah. Oh, get up off your knees. But, okay, well, that's that for then, for The Stand.
He's not the devil, he's a very naughty boy.
And so, moving on to, dodgy directors leaving, dodgy productions. Apparently, even though apparently Day of the Dead is going to be in production starting from summer, the remake of Day of the Dead. Apparently they've finally got another director after someone else left. They've got a guy called Mark Tonderai.
Okay.
I can't remember what Mark Tonderai's worked on, but they've got him doing Day of the Dead.
The film he's known for, he made a teeny horror-y film that came out either last year or the year before called The House at the End of the Street.
With Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some other FHM teen totty kind of cast in it as well.
Right, fair enough. So, so it's on the recommended watch list.
Well, it's one of those. I'll probably will watch it now just to see what the form's like, as it were, and see. Well, it's got to be an improvement on the other two versions of Day of the Dead that were produced.
Oh God, the one with bloody Ving Rhames is a fucking travesty.
Is that Mina Sorvino? Is it that one where they've actually is that murder? Yeah, because they've got they tried to do the bub thing in that, and it's just horrible.
It's fucking shit.
It's a badly made.
Film. Am I right in recalling they actually start climbing up walls and sticking to ceilings and shit?
Yeah. It's all kinds of shit like that. It's like, what is this? Is this like zombie Spider-Man now?
So anyway, so hopefully it'll be better than better than that. But we'll wait and see. The last piece of news I have, I don't know if I know you have some, Jim, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently. We were talking about we didn't even know Terminator 5 was a thing last week. Apparently, it's not only a thing, but they've actually narrowed it down to to 3 actresses for Sarah Connor.
Really?
This is one of my bits of news.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
shit, man.
It's all right.
He's got another one in the chamber.
I've still got the gold in the bag, don't worry.
Okay, fair enough. Well, there's Titania Masolini from Orphan Black, which I haven't watched.
Okay, right.
Then there's Brie Larson, again, who I don't know, but I'm sure a Google search will reveal 7,000 pictures of
These are all teenagers.
girls in underwear. And then there's Emilia Clarke. And Emilia Clarke, you usually see her with a dragon on her shoulder with white hair in Game of Thrones. And she is apparently the front runner. But yes, well, unless you, of course, you speak to Den of Geek and they say who's the outright front runner, couldn't tell you. But the report says that Schwarzenegger's keen to lock down whoever's going to play Sarah Connor in Terminator 5 before finding a new John Connor and Kyle Reese.
Right, so are they actually finding a new Terminator, or is it going to be Arnie?
Arnie.
Oh, fuck off. Really? Have you seen Arnold Schwarzenegger these days? I mean, he is showing his age. There's no roll neck jumper's going to cover this one up unless you're going to put it all the way up past your fucking face. It's just ain't going to happen.
He looks.
That would be quite a departure, though, wouldn't it? You know, have a roll neck go right up and just have the glasses over the roll neck.
At the moment, he looks like an attaché case made out of foreskins.
He does. He looks old. You know, he's not, this is it. It's like, look, put it down and walk away from it. Hand over to someone else. Get someone else to play the role.
But Arnie's got to eat. He's got too many kids to pay for now.
He's got plenty of films going on in the background.
I hear he's turning up on the Monty Python special as well. 180 quid a ticket.
I'm here to complain about this parrot which I bought not 20 minutes ago. What's it going to be done?
From this very boutique. Yes, anyway. Lumberjack. Anyway, so there you go. I take it none of us are impressed with that.
No.
Oh, no.
What does Jet Lucas think?
The girls they got, from what I can gather there, I think the girls who are going to play Sarah Connor just seem a bit too young. I don't know. It's just, you know, they're just barely, I think they're barely into their 20s, not even into their 20s, I don't think. You know, I mean, how old was Linda Thingamidge? I mean, was she, about 25 or something?
I don't know. I actually can't remember. But while we ponder on that, what's your second piece of news, Jim? Because I've nicked your first bit.
News has broke that Vin Diesel is going to be appearing in another big screen revival of an old property.
Uh-oh. Go on.
And it's rumoured that Ang Lee, that man we love so much for his version of Hulk and other shit films that he can't pace properly. I mean, that win awards. He's in the seat to direct.
Oh,
and
nice.
Do you want to know what it is? I'll give you a clue.
Go on. Oh, my God. Fucking Kojak.
Yep.
Oh, God.
All I heard was boom, 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 boom.
Well, then that just goes to show.
Why?
Fucking Kojak.
Why, though? Why? Who's screaming for a Kojak remake?
Seriously?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel,
There's not enough parts for slapheads.
Yeah.
Diesel's got to eat.
Rouge loves you, baby. Riddick didn't work. What's the bets with all this product placement you get in films these days that it's sponsored by Chirpa Chups?
Or Turtle Wax. Something like that.
Oh dear, hair looming. Yeah. Oh God, fucking Kojak. I mean, why bring that back?
Yeah, what's the point?
It's not even a brand name that I think anyone was particularly fond of when it was out.
Well, they were. I mean, it was popular, the show, but it's just like what's the reason for it?
Because the streets of San Francisco, Michael Douglas is still alive.
Do you know what? It's almost as crazy as the Murder She Wrote remake that they're doing there. They're rebooting Murder She Wrote, right? And Jessica Fletcher is no longer an author. Okay, she's an admin assistant in a hospital. Seriously,
right? And so Murder,
Is
She
this
Wrote...
setting up for a crossover with Diagnosis Murder?
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? Have cheeky Dick Van Dyke. You know, the clarinet starts playing and he comes up from behind your sofa like some scary granddad. Fucking hit him with a rolled up. He's like a fly. Hit him with a fucking rolled up newspaper. Get out of it. Go on. Get the fucking spray out the cupboard.
Oh dear. Well, that's it for the fucking news.
They did do a crossover in
What?
Murder, She Wrote once.
Really?
Yeah, they did a crossover with Magnum.
Oh. What?
I thought you were going to say the X-Men.
No.
The X-Men.
No, it was
God knows Marvel did enough spin-offs of the X-Men, and they've got to Murder, She Wrote eventually.
Murder, She Wrote Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think the story went that Thomas Magnum gets put in prison. And so it's like they do the first episode is in Magnum and they have him get him flung in prison. And then the second half of it is on Murder, She Wrote. And it's Jessica Fletcher trying to break him out, you know, with like black face paint and fucking ninja gear and
coming in through the ceiling on a string.
Yeah, exactly. She disables the guards with her homemade rock cakes. Fucking have at you. Right, the fucking eyeball!
Fucking knitting needle. Oh, my leg. Oh, dear. Well, let's...
Feel the nation by Hosiery of Doom. Yeah. Support stockings in your face.
Yes. Yeah, what's the name for fucking... Oh, I was going to die. This is joke's going to die on his arse. I'm backing away from the joke.
We need a Magnum remake.
I bet the moustache should be CGI. There's no way you could have such a fantastically hirsute man these days.
No, you don't, do you?
No,
you don't get that
not
at
like
all.
That. No, not like that. Right. Okay. Well, let's move on from the news and let's just go back because I think we should just cover it for a little bit, a little special just to stick in there. Obviously, I think by now it's safe to say that pretty much everyone who's interested in it has watched the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who.
Oh, yes.
Is that the case for you, Jim?
Definitely.
Cool. Got to make sure. This would be like a very short section, otherwise.
Should we mention Adventures in Space and Time as well?
Oh, we can if you like. Yes,
that was all part of it, really.
So okay. Let's go over it just very quickly. I mean, what did everyone think overall of BBC's handling of this whole event?
I think it's been excellent.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't get to see the William Hartnell run that they showed after they showed
the Unearthly Child.
Exactly. I think that they've been great to try and include as many people involved in Doctor Who over the years as possible in the entire 50th anniversary in one way or another. And the only wet blanket in the entire thing has been Christopher Eccleston.
Well, he's a serious actor, you know, doing highbrow films like G.I. fucking Joe.
Yeah, gone in 60 fucking seconds.
Cunt, yeah.
You know.
Well, I didn't like the culture of the show. Yeah, you'll appear in some jumped up firework of a toy advert, though, won't you, you fucking cunt?
Yeah, I was going to say, and he didn't need to even be in Thor 2, because it could have just been anyone with a mask on talking Elvish.
All he needed to do was turn up for about a 30-second piece of him, you know, showing up, you know, in the after a regeneration or something. You know, just have his face in there, just him doing something, and then that's all he needed to do. It's not going to harm his career or anything, and it would have left a nice little warm glow with most of the fans. So.
Yeah, but never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. So, okay, well, Adventures in Space and Time. Let's just quickly, because we don't want to waste too much time on this, because I'm sure everyone's talked this whole thing over to death. Yeah. I mean, Jim, what did you think of, before we go on to that, Jim, what did you think of the coverage overall? Good?
I think it was good, considering that so many people were whinging they didn't do enough. But I think the BBC played it very well. They left it right to the week before, and then just hit you with all these delights, starting with Night of the Doctor, Adventure in Space of Time, You, Me, and Doctor Who. So that was a cracking 60 minutes on the show.
Yep.
And the history, and then the 50th anniversary, and then the 5 Doctors-ish.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic comedy.
That was a quadruple whammy for me. I was very pleased, and there's still stuff on iPlayer I've not caught up with, like the Science of Doctor Who and other bits and bobs. And I think they celebrated it in style, actually, in the end.
Yeah. There is the other webisode that they released.
The last day as well.
The last day, yeah.
That was a nice little aperitif.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on top of that, there was the Radio 2 documentary, which was narrated by Russell Tovey for an hour and a half.
I think Radio 4 was doing stuff as well. I did hear I did a special on Doctor Who, plus they also did Whatever Happened to His Granddaughter as well. It was a radio play.
Susan, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it was basically done from the point of view of these, like a investigative reporter. And they do like a documentary on what happened to her, and they interview her, and she's like, he left me outside the fucking TARDIS.
Yeah,
you bastard.
Yeah, gave me a speech and fucked off.
Exactly, and explains how she got back to the time that she was from.
Yeah,
it was very good, and how we got the name Doctor as well was quite funny.
Oh, don't spoil it. I'll find it. I'll find it. Don't spoil it. But the other one they did was the proms special. Yeah. Which was also very good. Nice, if you're into soundtracks as I am, then it's a lot to appreciate there as well.
They're always always a lot of fun, those, I find, because they get people coming on as Cybermen and the Daleks, and Matt Smith showed up on one of them as well.
Yeah, they had Madame Vastra and Strax doing the hosting.
Yeah,
which was very funny.
Strax is a funny character.
Yeah, exactly. I bring help, and by help I mean grenades. But
I look forward to stomping your puny frame on the battlefield. Yes. Now try and get some rest.
Crushing you between my very hands at the earliest convenience.
Have an ice cream.
Yeah. Now then, boy, she's a girl. Okay, sorry, boy. He's easily confused. But I thought the coverage was very good. I mean, I will be honest with you, it got to a kind of saturation point at about like the 11th hour, so to speak, where it's like I couldn't actually turn over to a BBC channel without something. I mean, I usually take my kids when one of them's got a judo lesson. Yeah. In the afternoons, and so she does judo, and then I grab the other one, go to my parents who are nearer the school, and we stay there for like an hour, and Dad's kind of flicking through like quiz shows.
Yeah.
And they even had like a fucking quiz show called Pointless, which is like a sort of like, they had like B-listers from Doctor Who in that, and then the whole thing was about Doctor Who. Then they had something on Strictly Come Dancing, which was Doctor Who related. It was just like, okay, enough. Just stop it.
They showed the Buzzcock episode with David Tennant on it.
Buzzcock episode with David Tennant in it.
Right.
I mean, it's just like, just couldn't shoehorn enough Doctor Who in. So anyone who's complaining there wasn't enough Doctor Who, there was just tons.
There was loads.
It was just, and then they had the Ultimate Guide, which was on BBC 3 that went on for like 2 hours. And then even Channel 5 got in on it by having the Peter Cushing Doctor Who and the Daleks.
Do you know what I would have loved?
Daleks Invasion Earth.
Had they had just an episode of Doctor Who played on something like Sky Sport, so it would have to delay the sport for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Fuck you
That'd be delicious
wankers. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, this is the thing. Sports always seems to push everything else aside.
That's 'cause it pays more.
Yeah, whatever, man. It's let's just for once, just for 1 week. Let's
have it the other way.
Let's have it the other way. In fact, let's just have it as an episode of Doctor Who that everybody's seen anyway, just to add insult to injury. It's nothing new. We're just going to put a fucking repeat in there.
Yeah, of snooker from
wankers.
Carlisle.
There we go.
Anyway, so so let's quickly just jump into the Adventures in Space and Time. What do we all think of that?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
sobbing manfully at the end.
Yeah,
as we all were.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
There's something in my eye. My house is very dusty. I mean, to be quite honest, it skirted that sort of mawkishness when you see Matt Smith at the very end, and I thought, oh, they've gone too far. But then you suddenly think, actually, at this point, it doesn't matter. They've gone so straight down the line with it, and then and then it cuts back to him staring at the police box in his car, and there's the policeman going, You're in the way. Move on.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you can't stay here, sir.
You can't stay. You've got to move on. It was the feels. Right in the feels.
Yeah. And it's that whole thing of, it's that realization that he's getting on.
Yeah.
And that, it's all coming to an end for him. And when he starts having trouble remembering the lines and it's getting worse. I did like that line where he was, switch on the fornicator, and they all burst out laughing.
Switch on the fornicator, yeah. No, I must be standing here to open the door.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. The fact that Hartnell took that much, he took that much interest in the show that, is that whole thing of no, we must do it this way because the kids will know.
Yeah.
And he had that much care about the production.
Yeah.
And how it was, he knew how to switch the TARDIS, the up and downy thing in the middle, whatever it's called.
The time rotor.
The time rotor, that's it.
There you go.
How to switch that on.
Thank you, Jim.
And you realise that he really has, that this is all he's got now.
Yeah. But he was enjoying it.
It was by the end of it, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cantankerous bastard that he was, though. But
just a bit.
Just a touch.
Just a little bit, yeah.
What did you think of it, Jim? Apart from just lovely. Was there...
well, it was just so well pitched. I mean, I know a lot of the history of the show. And it was nice to see kind of, that happened. That happened. Yep, they said that. But at the same time, it wasn't dry. It was interesting, and it was a glorious look into how television was made. And it made me quite sad that they closed Television Centre as well.
Yeah,
it's just kind of because that was a unique building designed to make television in its entirety, from the management to the special effects to everything.
Yeah, and
it's a stupid decision by the mandarins in charge to turn it into office blocks or whatever it is. Because we'll be never anywhere quite like it, and it's just I thought it was one of the, as I said last week, I thought that was going to be the highlight, and it it delivered. It didn't disappoint.
It was definitely one of the highlights.
It was brilliantly done.
I mean, I could have done with it even being expanded a little bit, because there was the whole thing with the director, sort of going up against sort of casual racism, and then there was Valerie. No, is it Valerie? What's her name? Verity, that's it. Going up against the blatant sexism and how those two sort of lent on each other to keep themselves going. And it was kind of like, it kind of got breezed through quite quickly. It's just like 1 minute they're up against it, and then next frame, we've made an episode and everything's cool. And it was, there was a bit breezy in places, but I have to say I would be a hard heart to turn around and say that wasn't a decent piece of drama. It's just like I say, I could have done with a little bit more, in fact.
Did you notice how close they managed to get the look of every single cast member to who they actually were portraying on screen? Jesus Christ. Especially Warris as well. Christ almighty, the actor they got to play him was just like the spitting image of who he was playing. Even the girl who plays Verity as well, very, very similar in look.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. And then for me, as a casual Who fan, it was kind of nice, because it kind of, I've always had in my head that like a lot of the Doctor Who stories and everything are just nonsense, and because I never seem to catch a whole string of them together. So only New Who's kind of ever made sense to me. And to watch this, and then watch the Ultimate Guide, which kind of walked you through all this stuff, those two as a double header sort of made me think, maybe I should go on Netflix and check out a few of the older series and see whether or not there's something I've missed. So that was quite good. I mean, overall, it really did deliver as far as I'm concerned, but it was just, like I say, I could have done with a bit more.
Can I just ask, are we all in agreement that the after-show party was a complete and utter fucking shambles?
What, the BBC Three thing?
Fucking, and put in one fucking direction on there. I'm sorry, but it's just like,
Yeah, but it was the only
Fuck
thing.
off.
It was the only thing that had the massive technical issues and showed them up to be a bunch of cocks.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was good.
They had no reason to be on there whatsoever. It's just
And
like
Matt Smith flicked in the V's.
Yeah, he did. And then
Who did?
Matt Smith. He stuck two fingers up to him.
Fucking
and
yes.
as he flicked the V, and then as he did that, you suddenly saw
The camera comes back to him.
No, you saw Zoe Balls sort of go, "Oh, we're still on," and he went, "Oh, really?" And then 5 seconds later, when it cuts back to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, lads, hope everything's cool." It's like, you two-faced twat. I would actually like to have a still frame of that with him throwing his V's up with One Direction on the telly. But yeah, I mean, that was a fucking disaster. That was everything that was wrong with Doctor Who, in my opinion, because it's like, it was just excruciating. Everyone was on there because they basically were getting a paycheck.
Yeah,
exactly. Though it did have, am I right in remembering that it did have Stephen Moffat make a slip up about touching children's lives, but that's the wrong thing to say in this building at this time of day, or something
like that. Yeah,
he made some kind of a bleak sort of like Jimmy Savile reference. It was like, oh shit, this is really, he's had too much to drink. Wheel him off quickly. But yeah. So okay, then let's get to the 50th anniversary episode. Okay, so we'll go around in order. Darren, what did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. It was such a relief to sit there and watch it and actually just feel pure joy at watching a Doctor Who, a fairly enjoyable Doctor Who episode. And I actually sat there and thought, you know what? Even if the continuity, even if I watch this, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, even if it proves that they've painted themselves into a corner with this, blah blah blah. It's just I'm along for the fun ride that it was giving. Everybody that was on that was excellent. You know, from Tennant, Matt Smith, everybody involved. Yeah, even Billy Piper, very good, and John Hurt as well.
Yeah.
You know,
he wasn't quite as severe as I thought he'd be.
No,
but
I thought he was really comical. I love the bit where the doctors pull out the screwdrivers and he goes, "What are you going to do? Build a cabinet at them, or build a wardrobe at them?"
Oh, for goodness' sake!
They're screwdrivers.
They're screwdrivers. It's a scientific instrument. What are you going to do? Assemble a cabinet at them?
And it was nice little pokes at itself like that. And the you know, oh look, we've got the round things back. What were they all about? I don't know.
I love the round things.
I love the round things. It was lovely, you know, just smashing little nods to the series. It wasn't like forced in there. It wasn't done ham-fistedly. It was all organically put in. It was nice. It all fitted into the show. Even up to the bit where, you know, you've got all the doctors are suddenly help pitching in with this. Plus you get the eyes of Capaldi.
Yeah, you're nicking all the good bits.
Yeah, I can't. Well, this is, you asked what I think of it. It's just,
I know.
It was a joy to watch. I just really, really enjoyed it, and it's like that is one that's going definitely in the Blu-ray collection.
Yeah,
because I've looked at the extras that are on there as well, and it's got all the like mini films and how they did that on it. So it looks like it's a really good value for money Blu-ray as well.
Yeah, it was good, very good. And Jim, what about you, sir?
I really enjoyed it. It was just, it was an anniversary special should be. Just a really celebration of the show. And whereas previous ones, you've had the 3 Doctors and the 5 Doctors, which have been kind of a bit pantomime, you know, because you're crowbarring in who you can get, and they never knew until the 11th hour who they could get with schedules, and it was always a nightmare. But they're all always produced something fun. But this, it was fun, but it also had a weight to it. It had a weight to the story, which I thought was nice. Yeah, and it balanced all those elements really well. I mean, I thought it was very. I mean, I had a big misgiving because I kind of, Tennant's going to come back. I thought Rose is going to come back, and it's kind of. No, I didn't want Rose back because her story ended so well. Just leave her there, and I didn't want that tampered with. Yeah. And the way they chose to bring her back was really good because it gave Billy Piper, she could show a bit more depth of performance, do something other than Chav Princess. Yeah. You've got Rose, but not Rose. That was very cleverly done. And the cameo at the end, I was so glad all my spoiler dodging had paid off. because that was such a surprise when that voice. There's an old man looking for you, and you hear, that voice.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
And then you heard the scraping on the floor of the milk stool come out, and he got his bucket.
And he milked that part for all
he did. There are 3 series coming out of that one little bit. There really are.
He milked that part until its teeth squeaked. That was but no, I have to say
that was still good. It was still so enjoyable.
But for me, I loved the dialogue more than I loved the story. I thought the story was all right. It was just kind of plodding along and quite nice.
It worked though.
Yeah, it did work. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that really the thing that made it fun was the fact that it was fun. It just took all the training wheels off, and it just went, yay, we're gonna have fun. And the whole
come on, Sandshoes and Grandad.
Yeah, Sandshoes and Grandad. Sandshoes? They're not Sandshoes. Yes, they are. What about Chinny over there? And he's like, Chinny, you do have a chin. But it's all the thing like trying to be super clever with the 400 years and working out the door and all that kind of thing. Right. And then all of a sudden it's we're very clever, you know. Did nobody bother to try the door? It's not even locked. And that was the thing. It was genuine, decent humour in there, as opposed to that kind of forced. We've got to make it a kind of Doctor Who humour kind of thing.
Yeah, the good crack of the whip, each and every character.
And the bit I liked the most was the smallest bit of the lot, which was he's running around, Tennant's running around with his little detector thing, and it's like going ping, and he goes yes, and it goes ting, and it goes ting, and all this sort of thing, and he's running around, and he stops, and he looks at the log, and he goes, I'm giving you a warning. I am the Doctor. I am a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Castor. I am the oncoming storm. I am the unforgiving. You're basically just a rabbit, aren't you? And it was just that kind of deflating the pomposity around the whole thing. It was just fucking great.
Oh, where he thought Queen Elizabeth I was a Zygon.
Apart from the breath, the Gafella horse, and you really are the Queen. And so backtracking.
It's my horse.
You know what that means? We need a new horse.
I like the thing with the sonic screwdrivers as well.
Oh yeah, what? Oh, you.
He pulls out. You got Tennant and Smith just looking at one another, and Smith pulls out. Tennant pulls out his sonic screwdriver, and then Smith pulls out his and extends it. And then you see Tennant just push it that one little bit further, and it extends just a little bit more.
And then he goes, compensating for something. And he goes, compensating for what? And he goes, well, you know what it is, regeneration, bit of a lottery. Yeah. And it was so funny, just because then after all of that, it's like, there's sort of, Alonzi, Geronimo. And then there's sort of John Hurtsman going, oh, for goodness sake. And it was that kind of thing. It was so much fun. And I just felt for John Hurt's Doctor all the way through. I don't know any of you. Yeah. I really don't. And I just thought, if I was going to, if you do one of those quizzes, that's the Doctor I'll end up being. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah. But, timey-wimey, doesn't anyone talk not like a child?
Where did you get that from? I don't know where he gets it from.
I don't know. But overall, I thought it was really good, and I have to say, I did have to kind of bite my lip a little bit when everyone was going mad on Facebook, because, it was like, okay, everyone's excited, but I didn't want to throw in for my 2p into the pot and just get lost in sort of like, yeah, we're all excited. But that bit when it goes, oh, God, 12 of them. That's just what I need. And then all of a sudden, no, 13.
Yeah.
And it was like,
yes. Yes. I think we all went.
And you see the hand, you see the eyes, and you heard the intake of breath, which was like 10 million people sucking on McDonald's strawberry milkshakes. Yeah. Every window around the country just imploded from that intake of breath. It was very well done. I thought the whole thing ultimately came out and played out really well. And I watched it for a second time because Carol wasn't around. The first time, because the first time was just me and Katie, and all we did was sit there going all the way through it. Because actually, you know what I loved? I loved the bit when he comes in the TARDIS at the beginning, and it's just like the music. It doesn't do the Doctor Who do 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 do. It's just that dun 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 dun, and it's all very dramatic. And then all of a sudden, the TARDIS just comes swinging in with him dangling off the bottom of it. It was just like a Monty Python thing. You just hanging from the bottom of it. It's like, yeah, this is great.
Did you like? Because they obviously had a different type of a format for that. Did you like the end credits? Because they've changed that now.
Oh, with everything being done as Gallifreyan symbols, and I thought
I didn't mind that at all myself. I thought it was really well.
I thought that was all right. It was just nice.
And it was the thing with the and who played the Doctor, and it's got all the names underneath as well.
Yeah, but it was good. I tell you, the only thing that spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
And it didn't spoil it terribly, but it's just one of those things where it's one of those things where you just notice something and it just makes you go, was when he does the dream and you see all of the Doctors lined up. It was very clear that Tom Baker and very clear that that Patrick Troughton was stuck on a piece of cardboard and just sat in there because he looked like he was having a stroke.
It was a rictus grin, that one, wasn't it? It was
no, it wasn't. He wasn't even like that. He was just kind of this open mouth, kind of showing his front teeth, which is the sort of smile you get if you actually take a freeze frame of someone laughing. And it was just like kind of. He looked like he was doing this. It looked like any second now there was going to be a little flame coming out the side of his head while someone rushes towards him on a sort of. He's having a stroke.
Indeed. I must admit, looking at them from behind there, I looked at the Eccleston one, and it's like he's been on the TARDIS box a bit because he was a bit of a stockier bloke than actual Christopher Eccleston was. It's looking even more like a bin man. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, the part of my Christopher Eccleston will be played by Jet Pawkins. But anyway, overall, I loved it. I thought what they did an absolutely stellar piece of work. I think the 50th anniversary is the best I've seen, and the worst bit was that for me the worst bit was I've always found with the New Who stuff there comes like a key episode when finally that actor becomes the Doctor, and it seems a real shame that to me this is finally the one where you get to see Matt Smith in comparison to all the others and you go, oh, that's what he's like, and it just felt like he actually finally he became the role. I don't know why. And I know he's done loads of others, and it's he's been good in them. But it's just like they're sort of like he was a grumpy old man with a childish face going at everything, and compared to Tennant. And then when you saw him against Tennant and John Hurt, when you finally see that, you sound like, now I understand. There you go. That's his Doctor. This is the way he should be played. And it's like, oh, we've only got one more bloody episode, and he's gone.
It's also nice to see that. The character of the Doctor, I mean, now you've got three of them standing there, it's like you can see the difference between them. Even though there's like an element that crosses between the three characters, they are substantially different from each other, to make a difference. And I appreciate that in each of those, the three actors playing there, how they come out with that role.
So overall, for a casual Who fan, I thought it was stunning.
Yeah, very, very good.
Great fun. That was the main thing. It was fun. There was no need to have 16 years worth of Wikipedia entries to read through, or
it was all there.
Followed it through.
Yeah, if you knew more about it, it was fun because you had stuff there thing too. But they didn't like smack you in the face with it and look at this Doctor Who reference. Ooh, look at this thing here.
Yeah.
Yes, draw attention to it.
What about you, Jim? Is there anything you care to add to that, or anything about
not a lot else really. Other than say that, are we going to talk about the 5.5-ish Doctors quickly?
Oh yes.
Fantastic piece of comedy.
I take it we're in agreement that Peter Davison should be given a sitcom to develop now.
I think so.
I think just those three, even if they play themselves, trying to get work.
No use trying the doors. I've locked them all.
Exactly.
Best line.
I've got a contact in the business. He's not got a Scottish accent by any chance, has he?
Yeah, well. Anyway, go on, carry on, Jim. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that was just another little surprise. We didn't know what was coming. And it was just kind of like, ooh, another bit. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is very good. And just a delightful half hour.
It could have gone so the other way, though.
Yeah.
But it was just written so well. It's like, it kind of reminded me of The Office a little bit, the way it was written.
Yeah.
You know, it's that cringeworthy.
Yeah. Especially when they find John Barrowman's family in his car.
The John Barrowman section was fantastic.
It's the way they set it up, and they had him looking, going, "Oh, I never knew." And you think, they're inferring he's got, some big male celebrity in there, and then they give you the reveal. It was kind of it's like so deliciously wicked.
But then he ends up leaving them with his placards by the side of the road, and it was just as he was driving away, and all you got was show tunes all the way. I've gotta be me. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow.
Fantastic. I even like that little bit at the beginning where you had Sean Pertwee and Olivia Colman sitting next to one another.
I'm in everything.
I think you're right, even. I'm in everything, yeah. So you didn't get a look at no.
Because that's the thing. Some of those things, those sort of in sort of continuity kind of things, in fandom humour can really wear a bit thin. But the bit with Peter Jackson running around and then going on to Ian McKellen. Sylvester McCoy's gone. Sylvester's gone. Who?
The bloke running around with bird shit on his head.
Oh. Will you be all right doing the scene on your own? I think it'll be an improvement. There was so much good in that. But again, it was good fun. And then, the bit I liked the most was Stephen Moffat playing with his toys.
Yeah.
We are not to be disturbed. We? Now, where are we? Pew, pew.
Had a bit with Russell T Davies as well, sitting at the time. I've got an idea for the 50th.
It's going to be another doctor. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be spectacular. It could be like a...
I'll be the doctor.
I'll be the doctor. Oh, all right then. I'll be the doctor. It was brilliant. It was really good. Really well done. And David Tennant forgetting the fact that his wife's giving birth. I'm sure I'm supposed to be somewhere. Now push. So all in all, totally brilliant. Yes.
Yeah, just a fabulous section of the weekend there.
It was a very good week. Well, doesn't seem like many ways I can bring this down, really. Apart from asking you, have you seen this piece of paper before?
Where have all the heroes gone? We're left with all the knobs. I just want one Superman and not this bunch of slobs. Not a single one of them could take on Mr. Freeze. They're so lightweight they could get blown away in a stiff breeze. The shitty heroes, the bandage costumes are just a little bit too tight. They're not very cool and they're not very fast, and they're most likely die in a fight. It's shitty heroes. Just one look at these dudes and you know they ain't right. Marvel DC doesn't mean much to me because they are a total shite.
Hulk smash! Puny Lounge Singer.
Right. Right, okay, shitty superheroes for this week. Yes, there is one. Oh, God almighty, this one even makes me cringe. Right, the guy's real name is A.G. Bell. That's his original alias.
A.G. Bell.
A.G. Bell. He's a Marvel character. He's a Marvel villain. First appeared in Marvel Age Annual number 1. And he lasted for 11 issues.
Christ.
Yes. Well, basically, I'll give you the brief history.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, a space vessel of highly advanced subatomic race had travelled through a magnetic disturbance, causing it to inadvertently leave its native microverse and become stranded within a telephone earpiece on Earth. The vessel sent out a distress signal, but the telephone owners dismissed the pleas for assistance as a prank caller. Desperate, the aliens deployed nanotech probes tasked with assimilating telephone technology so they could adapt it for their own freedom. But before the process was complete, the telephone owners, tiring of what he believed were continual prank calls, slammed the handset down and accidentally cracked the earpiece open, granting the aliens their freedom. The next day, telephone repairman A.G. Bell was sent to replace the broken phone, and soon noticed the advanced alien technology had begun to rewire the telephone circuitry. Taking the shattered device back in his private workshop, Bell was able to replicate the technology and incorporate it into his homemade costume. And now he's able to repair any telephone. That's about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you this week's shitty superhero, the Phone Ranger.
Once again, it's not a superpower. It's a fucking vocation. You know, this is his job.
But
it's like me going, I am the IT man.
Yes, well, you know, the Phone Ranger's powers and abilities. The Phone Ranger possesses no inherent superhuman abilities, but he is skilled in repairing and innovating upon analog and digital telephone technology.
This lasted 11 episodes.
Apparently.
Fuck me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to show you a picture. By the way,
I'm looking at a picture. It's beyond belief.
Go on, Dal. Would you care to describe what the Phone Ranger looks like?
He looks like, well, he is, to all intents and purposes, a mobile phone. He's actually. It looks like somebody's got a bit pissed off of him, picked up their fucking dial telephone and literally brained him with it. And his head's gone straight through it. And it's like, you know, he's doomed to wander the earth with his head stuck in this fucking telephone.
Payphone wrapped around his neck.
Yeah. I would be intrigued to look at the 11 episodes just to see what the fuck the story, what they could write about.
He gets a call out for a deadline.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't even want to know where people insert the coin to make a call.
Yeah, maybe.
What a load of old fucking rubbish.
Yeah,
seriously.
I tell you, if I could screw up this iPad and throw it at something, I would at this point. So, there you go. What do you think, Jim? I especially like the dials on his chest.
Yeah, well, looking at his Wikipedia, it does have the gem of a piece of information. It says, according to the Avengers Assemble Handbook and Volume 5 of the A to Z Hard to Cover Handbook, the Phone Ranger's role is mostly tech support.
Oh, God.
Is he a villain or a hero?
It's hard to say. But I do have a picture on Comic Vine of his last days. Take it.
Fucking hellfire. So what did he get shot? He got shot in the face by Bullet Man.
No, he got
Gun Man.
Yeah, or just bloke with a gun shot him in the face, and that was the end of that.
He's been cut off.
That was probably it. Yeah, he's been hung up.
His dull tone was to be heard no more.
He's now permanently engaged. So there you go.
The line's gone dead.
Oh,
Sorry, caller. This number is no longer in service.
Fucking hellfire.
Yeah, and if you do call that number, it is 07. Oh dear. Well, there you go. That was the Phone Ranger. Thank you to some people like Anne-Marie Organ who have been sending in shitty superheroes. Unfortunately, we have done most of them. But thank you for reminding me of them because I'm trying to make up a list right now. So that's cool. But if you do have any shitty superheroes or you want to see if we haven't done them and submit them forward, then please do send them in to blackdog@geekplanetonline.com. Right. Okay. Before we go on to Elektra, do we have a profanasaurus this week, Mr. Moon?
Yes, we do.
Lovely. Then would you like to take it away?
Elektra complex. A strange psychological compulsion which no one likes to admit to. Specifically, the urge to pay a visit to one of the fathers of modern comics, Frank Miller, and fuck that cunt's shit up for being such an arsehole in recent years.
Thank you very much for that, Jim. And yes, we look forward to many more.
I miss it when you do these and you don't say euphemism. I always expect that.
No. Yeah, well, I'll have to stick the echo on just for you.
Yeah.
Make it better for you. Okay, well, without any further ado, I suppose we better dive into the wonderful world of Elektra. Hopefully this will be a short one.
Hello, guys, I heard you sent some feedback, but I cannot download it because my PC's crashed. What did you write? Oh, I just can't wait to read. Was the film so very bad it made your eyeballs bleed? Made your eyeballs bleed. Made your eyeballs bleed. Was the film so very bad it made your eyeballs bleed? Just a second, watch this crappy movie in my hand. It's a tragic balls up and it really should be banned. If I see it, I don't know what it will do to me. Maybe I'll view it while off my tits on LSD. Stop watching, I can't take this film anymore. Your cover goggles are just making my eyes sore. Stop watching, I can't take this film anymore. Your cover goggles are just making my eyes sore. Eject the disc. Someone eject the disc. Eject the disc. Have mercy. Eject the disc. Someone eject the disc. Eject the damn disc. Well, I may just croak cause the remote's broke, so I can't even hit the stop button. And I crap for less cause the film is a mess, and I can't even hit the stop button. Well, I may just croak cause the remote's broke, so I can't even hit the stop button. And I crap for less cause the film is a mess, and I can't even hit the stop button.
We're sorry, the podcast you were trying to download is not available at this time. Please check with your provider or try the link again.
Right, okay, so Elektra, directed by Rob Bowman, produced by Avi Arad, that wonderful producer of Marvel who gave us such things as Venom. But anyway, written by Zach Penn and based on Elektra by Frank Miller, starring Jennifer Garner, Goran Visnik, Will Yun Lee, not Will I Am, and Terrence Stamp Neil. Anyway, the studio, there was many studios involved, so I won't list them all. But distributed by 20th Century Fox, released on January 14th, 2005. It was 97 minutes long, had a budget of $43 million, and only after DVD sales did it make a box office of 56.
Fucking hellfire.
Yeah. Right. There's not a lot in the way of production notes for this, funny enough. It doesn't actually. There's absolutely none. Ben Affleck was supposed to reprise his role as Matt Murdock in it. but his cameo was cut from the final film and was included in a extended edition scene on the DVD, but I'm fucking glad I didn't see that. Actually, there is absolutely no information. Oh, God. Right, for the screenplay, Zach Penn, Stuart Zeichman, and Raven Miltzner received written by credits, whereas Mark Steven Johnson received credit for motion picture characters and Frank Miller for comic book characters. Mark Steven Johnson, by the way, might be memorable to you because he was involved in what was that film? Spawn. And yeah, that's it. It doesn't really say an awful lot about production at all. The box office performance, it basically made nothing. Apparently it's the lowest earning Marvel movie since Howard the Duck. Elektra received generally negative reviews from all film critics. Based on 143 reviews collected at Rotten Tomatoes, Elektra earned a 10% rotten rating, while Metacritic gave it a Metascore of 34 of 100, which means generally negative reviews. Elektra was also named on the 74th on Franz Gruber's Worst 100 Movies of All Time list.
Isn't he the villain in Die Hard?
I was going to say,
Hans Gruber.
Is this a cutscene that they had? When he was reading out the list of our brothers in the Asian Dawn, and then burn every copy of Elektra.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's terrible. The reviews are so awful. It's not even funny. The initial, this tells you the initial gross in the US on that $43 million budget was actually $24 million. That's how much it lost on its initial release. It was only France that saved Elektra. Oh, apparently, Lord. Their budget.
They hate the world.
Yes. So there you go. There was a slight goof insofar as the girl they employed to play young Elektra in the flashback sequences had brown eyes. Goran Visnik filmed this movie while on summer vacation from ER.
I bet that made a good "What I Did on My Summer Holidays" essay, didn't it?
Exactly. Oh God. In an interview with Empire, Rob Bowman stated the original director's cut was R-rated and he had to tone the film down due to contractual obligations, which meant a lot of the film was cut for time. How was it? There was lots of scenes featured in the trailer that were cut from the actual film, and that's it really. The girl who played Typhoid Mary in the film had originally auditioned for the role of Elektra in Daredevil.
Oh, right.
There you go. And if that's the best of the information I can come up with, that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
So, who wants to go first and tell me what they thought of Daredevil, Elektra?
Do you want to go first, Jim?
Yeah, go on then.
Go on. Hit us with your rhythm stick.
Well, as I remarked last week, now a brief recap. I first saw this film on a transatlantic flight. And I wasn't sure whether it was me being jet-lagged or the film. But I thought, this looks good, but it doesn't seem to make any bloody sense. Mm-hmm. Have I missed things? Have I, where are all these flashbacks occurring? How does it all fit together? And it was one of those sort of films, I should rewatch that because I'm not sure it would say it's the film or me. Mm-hmm. So I sat down to rewatch this. And about halfway through, I heard this strange noise.
Yeah.
This weird rasping, and I couldn't work out what it was. And then it dawned on me. It was me snoring. And I am not kidding. I had actually fallen asleep, but somehow was in a weird lucid dream state where I could still hear the film. And the only thing that alerted me out of this torpor it induced was the fact I started snoring.
You were bored out of your own unconscious body by the film.
Yes. And that's a bad sign. And for me personally, it's doubly a bad sign because I had to rewind the cunt.
You are the master of understatement.
And watch it again.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear me. I mean, this film, it's... If you watched it with the sound down, it would look pretty good. It's when you can hear what they're saying, you realise not a shred of it makes any sense. And the plot is just nonsense start to finish.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's a massive missed opportunity. And that's what rankles for me on this second viewing. Is this could have been good. If there was the seeds of potential there. Because the film, I think it is nicely shot. Although it does go into ridiculous Attack of the Kill laundry at the end of where they appear to be filming in Bonnie Tyler's house or some other 80s pop stars, who has just, free roaming linen flapping about in the air for no reason.
It's a Purcell ad.
But there's all these just weird shit in it. There's kind of, you have the impression there's another film before this you've not seen, or there's a real missing, or both. Because you have all this stuff about her and her phobia about swimming, which never pays off. But you have endless flashbacks about the swimming.
Yeah.
It's not very well explained that how she's been resurrected.
No.
From dying in Daredevil. And you go, well, when did she train? With Twig or whatever his name is. Why is he a pool shark?
And why...
Is he on that island as well? And just legions of stuff that just don't make any sense whatsoever.
Yes.
And it's just like, the dots just don't connect at all. And so, it took me 2.5 watches, listening to the Now Playing podcast coverage, who really gamely tried to make sense of this.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear a good laugh, at the end of that, they have a blooper reel in which one of the hosts, Arnie, attempts to give a plot summary.
Oh, my word.
And nearly has a nervous breakdown.
As an embolism live on air.
Which I think is the most damning reflection on this film.
Yes. Yeah, I think that pretty much does it, yeah. What about you, Dal?
This is the thing, right? Elektra.
You're going to tell me you liked it, aren't you?
No.
Okay.
No. Elektra is one of those sort of films I like to class as beige. This is it. It just it's intangible. It means nothing. It's like air. It's like its effect on me was like bullets on Superman. It just kind of bounced off and didn't leave any marks. It passed through me like Timothy Claypole in Rent a Ghost. Oh no, that was another thing I had.
Timothy Claypole passed through you, did he?
He did, yes.
Wow. That was a party.
It certainly was, yes. So, this had the potential to be really good, but it wasn't. It was just really. It's like Laura said. She said, this could have been good, but it's just nothing happens in it. It's just, why were the hand after this bloke in the first place?
After that blood? No, it was after the girl, weren't they?
Oh, that's right. They were after the girl because she was the weapon.
She was the treasure.
The treasure. Yeah, not a very good treasure. She's supposed to be this fighting thing, and she got her ass handed to her a couple of times.
Yeah, but the thing was, she had innate abilities.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Trust me, I saw this while awake.
Ah, right, yes. It was all a lucid dream.
I think I might be the only one who did.
Yeah, she was walking around there with her Ratner's silver chain type thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
fucking whacking people in the mush with it, and and what have you.
She was pretty handy against CG wolves.
Oh, she was. Yeah. She was pretty handy against CG snakes as well, up to a point.
Wow.
But yeah, it's this whole thing. I mean, it was such a cliched movie. It was by the numbers, sort of cheaply done action movie. Stoic hero or heroine goes off on this mysterious mission, gets to know the target is actually, the people she's making friends with, and she's got a bit of a sensitive side, so she mustn't let them see her true self. No, that would be wrong. And then, of course, you've got the really fucking annoying kid. Annoying kid. Just can't. It's like Elektra, just throw her up in the air and just bring out the katana thingies and just
take a shot. Take the shot.
Take the shot now. Just fucking take the shot.
Yeah.
I can't stand in films. I can't stand streetwise kids. I can't stand streetwise kids. Or
are you getting into Harrison Ford? Get off my lawn.
Yeah, I am. I can't stand kids in there like that when they try to give it a bit of chewed.
Yeah. Kids in there hippity hoppity.
Exactly. Can we just have a child that acts like a child, and doesn't? Just fuck off. Just fuck off. Fuck off and fuck off. So I didn't like.
Is this why you didn't get the gig on CBBC?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just you can fuck off right now. So yeah, it's a bland film. It really is just bland. And all right, let's have a look at some of it as well. Right, you've got some of the logic in this film. Right, so you've got kick-ass ninja, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this woman who's been trained from very young to just disembowel people with a sheet of A4 paper.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
She can do this while whispering in their ear that she's going to do it. I'm going to fuck you up now.
Hello to Jason Isaacs.
Exactly. You've got this, right? Okay. She's having trouble handling this bunch of demons, right? So really, your bloke who's got absolutely no fighting skills whatsoever, but you've got a shotgun. What makes you think you're going to have any fucking chance against these things if Super Ninja can't even touch them?
Yeah, but
the thing is, though, she can touch them. Like the snake bloke at the end.
Yeah,
she goes up. I've seen that trick. It wasn't funny before, and I thought, when,
yeah.
And then she walks up and just slaps him on his head.
He spams
him. gives it the Michael Burke in your face. Yeah.
Michael Burke.
I mean,
to fuck you up.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing. There was a lot of this kind of like, how on earth are you going to take care of these villains if one's made of stone and the other one's got tattoos that.
Exactly. Go with Super Ninja. Right? Go with Super Ninja and be support for Super Ninja. Don't be a 2-second delay for the enemies of Super Ninja, because they'll suck the information. And they did. They sucked the information right out of his fucking small head. Right? They did. That's where he's gone. Thank you very much. Twist, break. There we go. You're dead.
I don't think he was expecting to find a 20-foot high sort of brick shithouse bloke sort of shrugging off buckshot through the door, though.
But you know what? When you do see that, that's the time to run for the fucking escape hatch. I mean, they're going to get the information out of you anyway, so fuck it. Just go for it and run like fuck.
Yes.
Just get the fuck out of Dodge. Or run in the opposite direction. There we go. Run as fast as you can in the opposite direction. Lead them astray.
Yeah, but then you got Speedy Gonzales, the Purcell flag flyer, and he just appears out of everywhere.
Yeah. That's a funny thing with this film. A lot of stuff just appears out of nowhere. It's what's all that about? And fucking Terence Stamp's character, fucking stick shift, him, right? He's like, you've got. I think it's like this mysterious ninja master who happens to have a sideline in running a pool hall, and screwing people out of innocent people out of their money.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's got a few blokes around him, and then all of a sudden he's got his own private fucking army.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about him.
The camo ninjas. Who suddenly are all over the place.
Yeah, they're sponsored by Purcell and all, don't they? They just all appeared out of the trees in the white, didn't they? And
yeah, exactly. So let me get this straight. You've got this whole army of ninjas, right? Okay, and all you do with the bad guy is you let him go. This is it. You don't try and ambush him and chop the fucking bloke's head off. Until we meet again. No, not until we meet again. Okay? Sliced dead. There you go. End of film. Thank you very much, Elektra. Is your problem solved?
Yeah, but that was the whole thing, wasn't it? It was the whole thing that the whole thing was a test for Elektra in the end that he'd basically rigged.
Fucking
right from the start.
That's some brutal exam, that is.
Yeah, if you fail, by the way, two completely innocent people will just snuff it.
Yep, and you're dead as well.
If you pass, hey, whatever. Yeah, mate, you're leaving anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, this film could have been so much more. It had the potential to be really good, but you know. And when she said, like, you know, oh, I've got to have someone to help me against the hand. I know who. Now the next line should have been Daredevil, right? This is it. Let's get Daredevil in there. I mean, this bloke was hard enough to be in the Avengers in the comics, you know. So I think, you know, he's got some worth.
There was a little small issue of the fact that this was, you know, a lot cheaper film. You couldn't afford Ben Affleck.
But we can get Terence Stamp in because he'll do it for 50p and a fucking corned beef sandwich. So, you know, get him in. You know, Malcolm McDowell's busy this week. We'll get Terence Stamp in himself. You know, because you know,
well,
Stamp needs to eat.
Stamp's had his spirit crushed by the Phantom Menace. He can't go any lower.
Yeah. Yes. True. I was in the Phantom Menace, don't you know?
I was in the Phantom Menace?
Yes. I was Zod. Me?
Yes.
I killed Superman with a fucking bus. Anyway, sorry.
No, stop it.
Not going there.
Yeah. I have to say that I think Terence Stamp looked like he did, and they made up the fact that he was blind because he couldn't look at anyone, including himself, in any reflective surface. So he just keeps staring off and pretending he was somewhere else. Yes. He was just constantly going to his happy place and just reciting the lines. Maybe
it's as his soul was rushingly departing his body. You know, it was like, no, don't even finish your breakfast. Come on. Get up. But I haven't packed. I don't care. Get the fuck out.
Come on, kids. We're leaving.
They've dislodged, obviously, the retinas in his eyeballs on the way out as they slam the fucking screen doors. That's it. It's gone. He's on the bus. He's out of here.
It was just a hollow shell of Terence Stamp.
It was. It was a puppet. That's it.
Cherry Anderson working him through the floor.
Yeah, but super marionation. There we go. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Oh dear.
There must be something. All the cast, though, are kind of not just phoning it in; they're beaming it in.
I thought they were just
by a satellite link from some Zen garden
from that One Direction after show party telephone link.
I was flicking the V's at the screen. I can tell you.
Yeah, they weren't just phoning it in; they were writing their lines on a piece of paper, just folding them into an aeroplane and just flicking it across the studio. I mean, for me, I fucking hated this film. I mean, I just got to break straight to the point. I detested this film. It was so utterly devoid of anything. It was just, I mean, yeah, as Jim said, it was nicely shot, and you know, in places Jennifer Garner was, you know, easy on the eye, as you know, but.
Do you know what? Can I just say, by the way, I'm sorry, acid flashbacks.
Go on.
It's the you can see when her brain goes walk sexy.
Yes,
because she starts walking like a bloke for most of it, and they're like, it's like a big heavy set man, and then it's like no, must walk like sexy ninja.
Remember the hips.
Remember the hips. Swerve those hips.
Yeah, but yeah. So you have to have like 40 minutes of her standing there staring out to sea, going for a swim, pulling on a bra, pulling on her pants, going into the pool, wearing a bikini. And it's just like, yeah, I could probably get this for free on YouTube if I really wanted.
I looked. You couldn't get it free on YouTube.
No, just these bits.
Oh, these
bits,
yeah.
And then the plot happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, hold on, the ninjas, they've just turned into sort of, was it Despicable Me fart clouds? What the fuck happened there? Yeah, that's what ninjas do. It's like
exactly as he's slowly dying. The last thing you hear is,
but
you're talking that new magic martial art they made up, maybe Crimbo or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck is that? Oh, she stabbed one through the floor. Oh, he's turned into a puff of fart. Okay. And then, another one's come through with, what was that? What was that? Gatling gun for arrows. A Gatling fucking crossbow thing. And then she kills that guy, and he's like, oh, you'll find out who I am in a minute. And he cracks his own neck. And then they all go, get away, and they all back away, and it just kind of goes. The character just sits in the corner and goes.
Well, they do say that at the point of death, your body does release, its entire sort of entire bowel movement. Can you imagine how that would affect some movie death scenes if they were just a bit more realistic about the bodily functions?
Tell your sister you were right.
Jesus Christ!
Fuck, Dad! It's leaking. All goes up his neck and fires out the top. His suit's filled up.
Yeah, you wouldn't have such a poetic death scene then, would you?
Yeah, it'd be hard.
As his blood just expels his entire contents.
It'd be harder to set light to him on that funeral pyre as well. Shit, he's really not burning. You should let him dry up for a bit. A wet wipe. So yeah, so the farting turning into puffs of chuff ninjas.
Chuff Puff Ninjas. There we go.
Ninjas. There's the
Coming
title.
to Cartoon Network.
There you go. There's the title. Chuff Puff Ninjas. That was fucking bad enough as it was, and then you get the fucking crazy gang with their every time I touch someone you rot or die, and then there's Mr. Tattoo. You know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see with Mr. Tattoo. I wanted to see an I Love Mum heart just float off the side of him or something like that. Just float away like a little sort of like a like funky pigeon bum. But and then there's this stone bloke who can take a shotgun shell to the head, and then but woe betide you if you manage to sort of drop a stick on his face.
Well, it was hardly a stick, was it? It was a fucking tree trunk that landed on his nut. It was like, oh!
But it's the Prometheus thing again, isn't it? It's the Prometheus thing. You've got fucking 359 degrees of movement, and you're a ninja who can just sneak around and take shotgun shells to the face, and you happen to stand in exactly the right place for a redwood to land on your face. It's just that's going some.
Can we redub that movie with some extra audio treatment? So every time they do actually die, you do hear that farting sound. Oh!
You wait, you'll see. Crack. Especially when the one then falls down the well. She hits the fucking bottom of the well. That was the other thing. It was just like crazy fucking bastard who can fly around throwing Persil sheets and adverts everywhere. And then next thing you know, he whizzes up behind her, and then what? He basically whizzes straight into a fucking knife and does a backflip straight down the well.
Yep.
It's like
fear might eat skill.
I can see my house from here. Look, Wendy, I can fly. Anyway, so yeah, the film was just utter fucking crabapple bullshit. It was just, I would have. It was clinker. It was total clinker from start to finish. And then at the end, you get Terence Stamp going, yes, it was all a test. So she's like, oh, right, okay, really? Brilliant. I've had to die twice in this film. And that was the other thing. If you can keep bringing people back by giving them a bit of a touch-up, I mean, that was a bit dodgy, wasn't it?
In the ear, that's what
Yeah, it wasn't just that. It was the old, stick your hands on my forehead. No, my forehead. And the other one on my belly. Oh, no, my belly. Oh, I'm back to life now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
If we do the redubbing, when he does that and she comes back to life, can we dub in Simon Pegg from space going, "Get off me, you bummer"?
Actually, what we're gonna have is when you're sort of seeing it from the top, and as Terence Stamp's moving in to bring her back to life, yeah, we're gonna have. Now, what we have here, then, is
I like this, not a lot.
Jingly jangly,
that kind of. Oh, right, okay.
I mean, I can take watching Action Pap, right? I watched the A-Team on Film 4 the other night, and it's still crazy ass bonkers and pretty stupid. But if you're just going to go with it and be nice and fun with it and just go, it's crazy bonkers, it's like, that's fine. But Elektra takes itself so fucking seriously as well.
Yes, it does.
And it's like, yes, it's so super serious. But we've got a guy with an eagle that grows out of his shoulder. And a wolf that grows out of his chest and snakes that grow out of his back. You know what? I really didn't want to see what came out of his arse. His entire trousers just explode into a small bear or something. On his side, he's got Hong Kong Phooey. Someone's drawn Batman on the corner of his arm or something. But
Mum.
Yeah, mum. Yeah. But everything, it was just gibberish. And the rest of the story was gibberish. And the fact that everyone kept fearing fucking Terence Stamp. What was the whole thing with the bloody melty spiders as well? What was that all about?
I have no fucking
idea.
It just seemed like someone had a large budget for effects and just went, you know what, we'll have a spider, make it photoreal.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we'll have it melt into some sort of puddle of jelly and then suck itself down into the floorboards. It's like, right, why do we have to have that scene? And it was like all the way through, I just kept looking at things and going, why do we have to have that bit?
Yeah.
Why?
Why am I watching this?
Yes, exactly. I mean,
it's like they make Elektra have this obsessive compulsive disorder.
Oh, God, with the
for
lining
like
up bananas.
2 or 3 scenes, and then it's completely forgotten about.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? You're counting. Yes, I was fucking counting the seconds down to the end of this film. It's like, yes, oh, look, you're counting. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were when you were walking. Oh, right, so she's obsessive compulsive. Well done. Now what? Who cares? It makes no difference. If she suddenly knew that like, the ninjas were there because she could count the number of leaves in the bush and the fucking maze, I don't know. And that, okay. I know scythes are pretty sharp. And I know if you throw them, they're going to stick in something.
You're going to take someone's eye.
They are all going to. Someone's going to lose an eye. All right. But how many bushes did that thing go through? I mean, it pretty much went right across the entire maze.
Yep. Didn't slow down for a second.
Went straight.
You should sell them on QVC. Make a mint.
Elektra head strippers. Yeah, and obviously, Typhoid Mary, everything she touches or anything that goes near her gets old and
shite.
Turns to shite, exactly. Which is what essentially happened with the entire film. But that scythe coming towards her, why didn't it rust and just crumble?
Oh, no.
Right, okay, and then we had some subplot about her being like the chosen treasure or something.
God, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a whole bunch of bollocks with the hand, Oh, if you do this, I will step aside. Who are you? What is this? Are we in like some sort of Chinese restaurant tea room? What the fuck? I'll have prawn balls and a 97, please, and a 69 and a 4 with prawn rice. And can I get some?
Just one of everything on the menu.
Yeah. Can I get some crispy duck over here? Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is
sauce,
this? Yeah.
And 500 bags of prawn crackers.
Yes.
and some wonton. Anyway, so yes, it was shite. I fucking hated this film, and everything about it was just dire.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I think we're all in agreement, aren't we?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, it's time to get on with some feedback, I suppose. Cool. Right. So feedback. And over to Darren. Who have we got first, Darren?
Okay, we've got our friend Gareth Lloyd.
We're not singing.
We're not singing. Not at all.
Too late in the day for that.
Okay, so Gareth writes, "Hi guys."
Hello.
Hi there. Now, say hello, Jim. Say hello, Jim.
Get involved.
Hello, Jim.
Entertainers comedy podcast. So he says, "Hi guys. Now I didn't mind Elektra years ago when I first saw it. So watching it again, I was wondering, does it deserve all the hate? Yes, it does. It's utter bobbins, poor story and acting, no relation to the character from Daredevil, and nowhere near the danger or depth of the comic character. Just horrible. Gareth." There we go. Short and to the point.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much for that, Gareth. I don't think we're going to get much on the way of variation from this, to be honest. I'll be interested if we do find someone who actually likes it. But, okay. All right. So, over to you, Jim. Who do you have first?
Well, first up, I have Mr. Dean Burns.
Oh, Mr. Dean Burns. Okay.
And he says, I will start this by saying Daredevil is probably my favourite movie. So how the hell did this bastard child come from such a good film? I felt it like he was shitting all over the continuity of what had gone before. Elektra, when she was killed, she wasn't a master assassin. She was a rich girl, who I'll admit was trained well, but nowhere near the level that was shown in this film. Also, in Daredevil, her mother's death was implied to have been a mafia hit, not involved with some shit with ninjas. And the other thing that annoyed me was the secondary characters. It was like a mix-up of whoever was free from the Daredevil mythos, pretty much none of whom had anything to do with each other. Halfway through the film, I got bored and turned it off.
The end.
It was like every other sentence. And I was like, why should I care? I went on Wikipedia and looked up the crew, and every one of them, I just felt like shouting, "You're better than this." Fuck this film. Bring on Daredevil.
Yes. Okay. I think he feels rather strongly about this film.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a touch. Okay, well, thank you very much for that, Dave. Dino. It's late. That's all I'm going to say. It's late. We will be getting to Daredevil, hopefully next week, but then if my work commitments kick it around, we might end up having to do that the week after. But anyway, we will get to Daredevil very, very shortly. Thank you very much for that feedback. Right, okay, well, on my screen, I have Eric J, who comes from Toronto. And, well, I think... Are you sitting comfortably, ladies and gentlemen? Good. Then I'll begin. Hi, Blackdoggers. Eric from Toronto here. Before mentioning Elektra, I have something to say to Lee. I know it wasn't your intention, but I'm afraid that some of the political upheavals that we've had here in Toronto can be laid at your door. Right, okay. Our mayor, Rob Ford, is a very impressionable and easily led. He's also, though you couldn't tell it by looking at him, a keen sports enthusiast, and was sure to have followed the London Olympics with great interest. I'm certain that one day, while looking up the internet to see if Team Canada was bringing in its usual Summer Olympics harvest of bronze medals and participant ribbons, he came across your world-famous photo of a dangling Johnson. You can imagine what went through his mind. Look, that Boris Johnson, Mayor of London, he's become a global comedy meme. Gosh, if Boris had become an international laughingstock, I'll bet all the cool mayors are doing it. Maybe if I could do something even more stupid, I can be a cool mayor too, and the other mayors will stop saying that that they have to go home and think about transit infrastructure, or every time I say hi to them at the mayor conventions. But what could I do that was stupider than coming to a dead stop on a zip line dangling in the air like the world's worst Christmas ornament? Then Mayor Ford must have had a thought, when sudden had a thought, and then suddenly, some 18 months later, it came to him. Hey, I know what I'll do. I'll smoke some crack with a bunch of thugs, and I won't get my picture taken. I'll get a video. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. And the rest, as they say, is history. So, Lee, next time you get a photo of a major political figure behaving like a complete prat, think of Rob before you post. Okay, there you go. First time I've been charged with invoking international incidents. But, hey, such is the power of me. Anyway, Eric continues. As for Elektra, well, the scenery is beautiful. That cabin she rented looks to be somewhere along the British Columbia coast. Site of some of the most breathtaking views in the world. Just lovely. If you ever get a chance to go there, I do it. I can't recommend it highly enough. Aside from that, you've got a film which is cross-eyed, which a cross-eyed but cute sociopath redeems herself for a lifetime of cold-blooded murder with one act of decency. You also have a film in which all the evil ninjas are Asian except for a couple of evil black guys and two evil white people, a tattoo guy and a roundup girl. The human weed killer, roundup girl, the human weed killer. Of course, all the good ninjas are white, and in this case, Terrence Stamp is extra white. Did I mention that British Columbia also has many lovely vineyards? They're well worth checking out, making them the exact opposite of Elektra. And with that, I'll say goodbye from Toronto, home of the world's fattest crack-smoking, pussy-eating mayor. Pray for us. Thank you very much for that, Eric.
Yeah, cheers, Eric.
Wow, there you go. International incident creation and a travel log for British Columbia as well. Do go visit.
Yes,
this has been an email from the British Columbia Tourist Board, and a plea for clemency for the international appearance of Toronto on the world stage for all the wrong reasons. Right. Okay. Well, Darren, who do you have next?
Okay. I have our friend and sort of Justice League of shitty superheroes member, Captain Inappropriate.
Oh, God. Okay. What does he have to say?
Captain Inappropriate says, "Hey, gents. Very brief comment this week as I've not seen Elektra and I don't ever care to. I just want to say I've never found Jennifer Garner all that attractive. Though she is a step up from that transvestite who starred in $1 Million Baby." Oh, and this film does have one thing going for it. No Ben Affleck. Drops smoke bombs and smokes bomb and disappears, leaving a faint musty smell.
Well,
that was Captain Inappropriate for you there.
Short, sweet, and to the point as ever, Captain.
Indeed.
Well done. Wherever you are, sir, we salute you. Jim, over to you.
How'd you follow that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Let's follow with Martin Thompson, who we can rely on to be civilised, I believe.
Good luck with that.
And Martin writes, "Good evening, Lee, Darren and Jim."
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
This is the second time I've seen Elektra, and I know I'm bound for the bunker of shun this week, because I quite liked it. The plot was corny, but when the hero is an assassin and the makers are trying to appeal to a teen audience, it's not surprising that they tried to soften the edges. So many flashbacks, though. And as good as Jennifer Garner was, she didn't entirely convince me as an emotionless assassin. How did she recover from the kiss of death anyway? Was it the same laying on of hands she tried on Abby at the end? If so, what mystical juju was she supposed to be doing? The magical assassins were good, and the tattoo guy especially creepy. You can kind of see where Marvel was going from this rough start and how they ended up with their current crop of blockbusters.
No, you can't.
It's not that.
Go, sorry, Jim. Carry on.
It's not the best comic book movie in the world, but I'd certainly rate it higher than shit like Spawn and Catwoman. Cheers, Martin.
That isn't much of a rate, though, is it? I mean, it's like that's the shit sandwich bread analogy, isn't it? It's like, I'm still eating shit, even though I'm having a shit sandwich. Just because I get bread doesn't mean I'm not eating shit.
Some of the taste is taken away, though, by the bread.
Well, yes, okay. I'd take your point, but it's still eating shit. Thank you very much for that, Martin. Get in the bunker. Fucking don't let me put your foot on the back of your head. Just push you in. Get in there. You know what you've done. You come out when you think about what you said. Right. Okay, so The next piece of feedback is from Jack P. Starroll. Dun dun dun. Now, I will warn you, this is a lengthy diatribe, but I'll try and give it the weight and gravitas that it deserves.
Starting the clock now.
Yeah. Dear Darren, Lee, and Joe. Oh no, sorry, no, sorry. Dear Daz, Laz, and Jazz, if Lord Moon is still hanging around. Well, fuck me. No, seriously, fuck me for suggesting this film. I don't remember my exact words, but I believe it was something along the lines of, if you want a proper benchmark for whether or not Daredevil is truly a bad film or not, you should do a double bill with Elektra. Little imagining that after all my suggestions of infinitely better or, at any rate, more interestingly bad films, that this insipid nugget of laxative pie would be the time when you actually decided to listen to me. If you thought my suggestion would result in me and if I thought my suggestion would actually have a result in me watching this god-awful piece of shit again, I would have kept my stupid fucking turd-chomping ideas to myself. First of all, let me apologise to all of my fellow doggers, and secondly, offer a cheerful fuck you for listening to my stupid advice. Next time, please take one of my good suggestions for pity's sake. All jokes aside, this really is a fucking stinker. Oh my word, it is. I distinctly remember my first and only prior viewing of this flick at the Randwick Ritz.
Pretty full, Stephen.
Yeah, Randwick Ritz.
The human torture is today. The balloon.
I'm going to punch you right in the ovaries. This film broke partway through, and that's not the real reason I asked for my money back. It was the same year, I believe, as the second attempt at a Punisher movie that came out, one with Thomas Jane, that had a bizarrely watered-down version of Garth Ennis's first darkly comedic run on the character. I had the same objection at the time to that movie as I did to this one. Even allowing for the flicks about gun-toting vigilantes or sai-wielding assassins being bad movies, how in the name of Seth Rogen's hairy nipples do you make a material into boring movie? Moreover, shockingly bloodless one, lacking any decent action and alarmingly low body counts for characters who are defined by their relentless, unstoppable, killing machine nature. Looking at Elektra again, it's even worse now than I imagined. I mean, seriously, even ignoring the question of this being really shallow adaptation that barely resembles the comic book character, it's a shoddy as hell execution of its own basic premise. How do you set out to make a movie about a kick-ass, sexy, femme fatale assassin and then end up with a movie that resolutely is unsexy, kicks no ass, and in which virtually no one gets assassinated? Fuck off. I don't even care that it's not resembling the comics. It doesn't match her established character because in this film she is a non-character. Instead of looking brooding, cold or amoral, she just seems depressed and occasionally weepy. I don't blame Garner much for this. I feel that she just got stuck trying to deliver what is, or rather isn't, on the page. Her character is bland, undefined, inaccessible. Garner is constantly trying to emote, but we don't know whether or not, don't know why or what for. Her childhood trauma lacks any context and seems absurdly raw for a supposedly hardened assassin. Oh, and to beat my usual drum about the red costume's redesign into the corset was stupid, as it was neither more or less sexy than the original. It just managed to look even less like a ninja. Equally lame are our little character beats like giving her OCD and trying to foster a supposedly life-altering little sister-big sister dynamic that just flatly doesn't work. And don't even get me started on the stupid non-romance with the girl's dad. In fact, the risk of being a bit sexist, did anyone else get the vague chick flick vibe from some of this? Whatever, it's just lame regardless. Speaking of lame, how about the lame plot? No, let's not. It isn't worth wasting the fucking breath on it. Much like Elektra's horribly underdeveloped, undercontextualized character, Much like Elektra's horribly underdeveloped and undercontextualized character is, well, this film itself, I know having too much exposition sucks, but this movie fucking opens with exposition, and I still have no idea what's going on. And if I didn't have prior knowledge of this property, which is bizarre because it's making no real effort to evoke the comics at all. Furthermore, it's equally terrible sequel to Daredevil, and at the same time a terrible standalone movie. If you haven't seen Daredevil, you'd have no context for how or why she or her father died. Yet conversely, they make virtually zero reference to that film. They even cut a scene where she dreams of Matt Murdock. So at the same time, it doesn't fucking matter if you've seen it or not. There's just no bloody establishment of anything about her character in this world in any satisfactory way. Would someone coming to this movie cold just accept that it was just a weird kung fu movie where people have magical superpowers? I swear, if I didn't know this was from the comics that the hand ninjas disintegrate into smoke when they die, I would think it's the worst fucking trope to introduce this into a movie without explanation. As it is, all this stuff with different members of the hand plays out like a poor man's Ninja Scrolls. I also swear that Elektra is the least stealthy fucking ninja I have ever seen, stomping around that damn maze yelling like a silly bint. God damn it. Is there anything good about this movie I can say? I thought the tattoos coming to life effects were kind of cool at first. The horned demon silhouette in Elektra's flashback was kind of a cool design. Having Terence Stamp in the movie gave me a kind of excuse to half-heartedly shout, "Kneel before stick!" At least before his hilarious little ninja made me have an attack of narcolepsy. Seriously, fuck this shit. What a waste of fucking time. Bring on Daredevil and or pass me the whiskey. Jack. Oh, there you go.
Cheers for that, Jack.
Thank you very much for that, Jack. And the 17-volume version of that will be available online and on Amazon Kindle.
The non-abridged version.
Sorry, Jack. No, thank you very much for the feedback, man. Right. So, Jim, who do you have next?
I have Mr. Pete Hammond.
Mr. Pete Hammond. Oh, hold on. Listen out. I think the car's crashed again.
Pull over now. And a big hello to
I'll just check the news.
Truckers listening.
Sorry, Jim, was that truckers?
Yes.
Oh, I just thought I'd ask.
Remember, if you're feeling sleepy, why not pull over and knock one out? Anyhow, Pete writes, I didn't watch Elektra for this week's cast, partly because I couldn't be arsed expending the energy, partly because I remember it being unutterably shite, and partly because I couldn't find it any fucking where. Netflix UK didn't have it, Now TV don't have it, and even YouTube doesn't have it. And YouTube has a 7-minute video of a traffic cone and videos of fat girls sitting on blokes who pay them well to do so. Both are preferable to watching Elektra. I don't own a copy, and neither do any of my friends, because they are not twats. Poor Jennifer Garner, though. That bone structure with those ears, and constantly bothered by / linked to Ben Affleck. Poor girl. Still, here's the things improving for next week. Oh, my mistake. It's fucking Daredevil. I hope I have a similar level of success at finding that. Lots of love. Pete. My own mother thought my Facebook profile picture was me and not the dude, Hammond.
Thank you very much for that, Pete. Yes, Daredevil. I think it's easier to find. I bought it from Computer Exchange for...
I shall go and buy it for 50p as well.
I bought it for 50p. Yep. There's a 2-disc version you can pay for 75p.
You've got the 2-disc version.
Have I?
Yes.
Oh, I got that for 50p. The other one's like even less then.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go.
You might have had the director's cut then.
Wow. I can't wait.
Face is brimming with excitement.
Yeah. Just so you know, in case anyone does want to catch up on this, Elektra is available for rent on iTunes for the grand total of £2.35.
£2.35?
£2.35. £3 if you want it in HD. But why you want it on a HD on something on a phone size, I have no idea. But yeah, hey-ho. Right, we haven't got anything on this side, Jim, thanks to a massive cock-up. So have you got any more?
I've saved the best till last.
Yes.
It's the world's premier Wizzo impersonator himself, Mr. David Deans.
Wizzo 2, Electric Boogaloo.
And he writes this.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, Darren, Jim, anyone, save me. So, Elektra. What in the calcified fuck did I just watch? Elektra is an assassin haunted by the ghosts of her past, hired to kill oh, fuck off. Who gives a fuck? Elektra has no character, no personality, a blank slate, wandering around, waving weapons at cannon fodder in a poor outfit who'd get seriously duffed up if her enemies didn't keep giving her a minute to do her precognition thing. In 100 minutes, we find out what she is, but not who she is. What does she want? Does she have an opinion on anything? What we get is an OCD montage. Why? Why, fuckface? Why? Having OCD is not character. It's an affliction. It doesn't reveal anything about her personality. It doesn't pay off anywhere in this crap gargle of a script. It is a waste of time. Elektra rents a house in a scenic location and is burgled by a spunky teenager. Now, in spite of what my browser history might report, I hate spunky teenagers. Nearly all teenagers, my past self included, are sociopathic, emotional maelstroms, unable to string a coherent sentence together. The other ones, as older UK listeners might remember, are William Hague, or the genius kid who turned up on Wogan. In movies, these creatures drive the plot by being clever enough to boost the writer's ego, but specifically stupid enough to give the director something to do. After a creepy Christmas dinner where our heroine is supposed to bond, but here we all know that Elektra might read National Geographic or Reader's Digest or the Internet. The dialogue is so perfunctory it loses any intent, and the scenes of warmth she witnesses only reinforces what we know. It doesn't reveal anything new. It is redundant. Moving on, Elektra, brackets alone, is shocked to discover that her next targets are hunky dad and spunky teenager. She rescues them from the B-team assassins, who should have been made to play in their pants because they forgot to bring any menace to their scene. Although that could be down to Elektra's gift of sight, which handily removes any threat in the film by allowing instant recons, and retcons even. Where Elektra drove me over the edge and had me grinding my teeth at the sheer cack-handed incompetence was during the so-called action scenes. Temporally, spatially, visually, director Rob Bowman doesn't know his arse from his fucking elbow. During the mind-bogglingly inept woods chase, Tattoo Blokes unleashes his wolves, who, despite moving at 30-odd mph, couldn't catch the clap in a brothel, or may have stopped off to cock a leg. Meanwhile, an intermittently deaf bad guy hears spunky squealing, fails to hear a falling fucking tree. During which time it takes Elektra, Miss Swifty Pants, 20 seconds to run along the 100-foot, brackets, I'm being generous, tree, and in that time, hunky dad and spunky teenager managed to run a couple of miles. I understand building tension. I understand the editorial power of the long moment. But I don't get how hunky and spunky managed to outrun wolves and trained assassins. It's just shite filmmaking. On a side note, the assassin that sucked the life from everything reminded me of an ex-girlfriend, only less homicidal. Anyhow, we find out Spunky is the golden child, and at no point does Eddie Murphy turn up, which, given current form, is bonus. Everyone ends up in a ninja yurt encampment where Elektra's character doesn't progress one fucking jot, but Spunky's hair undergoes a further radical transformation from the ginger wig she picked up at Elektra's handlers to mousy brown real hair. Did I miss a time passes or things occur subtitle somewhere? Finally, in a supreme act of plot mechanics, Elektra invites the Ninja Club round to her old house, where she is menaced by rogue dust sheets and Bowman's inability to direct action. Tattoo bloke dies because he has shit powers, which require him to sit about in the opening while menacing young girls with a river of snakes. Samurai sword bloke dies because, despite repeated opportunities, he won't shut the fuck up and kill Elektra. And in another temporarily dumb and piss-poor realised shot, my ex gets a knife in the head after apparently killing Spunky. Given that she hasn't killed anyone in the flick yet, only disabled them, I'm wondering where the stakes are. Plus, she gets the jab as she's walking away so dramatically. So, who gives a fuck? Which brings us to the paralysing, on-the-nose resolution of Elektra's younger girl self disappearing. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. I was half expecting Michael Caine to turn up and say, "Sometimes, Master Bruce, the greatest enemy you will ever face is the one reflected in the mirror." Before realising he's in the wrong movie and running off in tears. When all's said and done, Elektra is just shit happening for the sake of it, with no real thought behind it. In concept, in execution, in my bastard living room. Made by dumb people who think movies are for the dumb. As a result, I'm creating multiple IMDb accounts to downvote this dumb shit pile from 4.6 into shitting oblivion. I'm Dave Deans, and I'm very angry. Till next time.
Thank you very much for that, Dave.
Cheers, Uncle Dave.
Maybe he succeeded. That's why we're down to like 2.5 stars.
Well,
that's wow. The power of Dave Deans to make or break a career on IMDb. Once his dander's up, he's not letting go, is he?
No, he seemed a bit sort of like. I think he seemed a bit miffed.
I think he seemed a touch miffed.
A bit nonplussed by the whole film, I'd say.
Spunky teenagers has got to be, yeah. You don't want to find that in your browser history.
You don't want the authorities finding that in your browser history anyway.
Oh dear. Well, that's it. Thank you very much, one and all. Thank you very much, Jim, for reading them out as well.
My pleasure.
You did yourself a service there, sir,
yes.
For reading it out like that.
Yes, that's if Dave hasn't sort of like walked straight into a lamppost in shock, or Pete hasn't driven into the central reservation again. Right. Well, that's it then. I think the moratorium on Elektra is done.
Yes.
So it's time to move on to our next film. The next film is actually the prequel to Elektra. and was, like Jack said and Jack admitted, was basically put at the front of this, was put behind Elektra because basically we wanted to see what a really shitty superhero movie was like, so that we can actually work out whether or not Daredevil was actually as bad as everyone made out. So, all bags of flaming shit to be sent to J.P. Starro, Sydney. So yes, so we are going to cover next week, we are going to cover Daredevil. Ben Affleck standing on roofs.
Looking all mean and moody.
While Colin Farrell kills old ladies with dry roasted peanuts. So, I know that Ollie doesn't like this, but we
don't care.
We don't care, yeah. Frankly, we don't give a shit at this point. This is 2 hours and 30 in. We can do what we fucking like. What is there anyone's memories on Daredevil? Anyone want to step forward and own up to liking it?
I thought it was okay as a film.
At the time.
The most annoying thing about it is Colin Farrell. I fucking hate his character in it.
Okay.
I really don't like. It's just too too much in-your-face comedy. It's just,
Okay.
spoils the tone, I think.
So do you think that's going to be the same this time round?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it will be. But apart from that, no. I thought it was all right.
Okay, cool. Jim?
I remember I was quite keen to see it, and then our local cinema didn't bother showing it, and I was rather miffed. Then I caught it when it came out on video and DVD, and I didn't feel quite so bad about it. I don't think it was terrible. I thought it had potential, had some good bits, but it was less than some of its parts, unfortunately. However, I do understand the director's cut does make a big difference. So I'm intrigued to view the director's cut and give it another shot.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's another thing. When everyone sends their feedback into Blackdog at geekplanetonline.com, do mention in your feedback whether or not you watch the director's cut or the theatrical cut, just because it will make it easier to kind of assess what's going on. We are going to try and aim for the director's cut if possible.
Yes.
My memory of it was I thought it was okay. I have to admit that I've since watched it like on and off on various cable channels over the years and never managed to get all the way through it. But when I first saw it in the cinema, I did enjoy it because I thought it wasn't Batman, but it was Batman, but it wasn't Batman. And it wasn't as camp as Batman, and it just seemed to be like, okay, it's a good step in a direction, but it, I would wait for Daredevil to have improved upon it. But yeah, overall, the only thing I was going to say is it does for about halfway through, it turns into a Evanescence video for about 3/4 of an hour.
Yeah. Just lucky they did the theme tune then.
Yeah. So, which is fine if that's the kind of music you like. But I have to say, even if you do like it, it's like, oh, for God's sake, someone just put some strings in here that just stop with the God rock.
Yes.
And there's some nice ideas. I don't know if I'm going to be into it this time round. I really couldn't say. But like I say, last time I tried to watch it on, I think it was Film 4, I got to the bit where Jennifer Garners standing in the rain, some twinkly, twinkly music starts playing, and I just thought, oh, fuck this, and just never got through it again. So I'm going to be interested to actually push myself to watch it again. Right. So we'll leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again, as ever, for listening. Thank you, Darren.
No problem.
Yeah, well done. Yeah.
I'm slowly switching off systems to try and conserve power and energy.
You are. And thank you again, Jim, for popping in such short notice.
My pleasure.
And would you like to tell ladies and gentlemen out there where you can be found from here forth?
Book and Duck, Darlington High Street.
Under a bridge in a cardboard box. No. Go on, sir.
Yes, you can hear me currently every week. My podcast Hypnobobs on iTunes and on Geek Planet Online, and at my own site hypnogoria.com. I write bits at hypnogoria.blogspot.com and do reviews for Geek Planet Online. I have a book, The Seven of Spectres, I'm sure you all know.
Yeah.
And there's a new one coming out soon.
Nice.
Very soon.
Cool. And what about your audio book?
Yes, the new book will come out as ebook and simultaneously as an audio book, and you can find other audio books at hypnogoria.bandcamp.com.
Brilliant.
And just at the minute, hoping to get something onto Audible. I have a contract with a publisher, so
nice,
exciting,
very good
stuff. Very good stuff. Excellent. Right, well that's it then. Don't bother looking for any of us on Twitter because we've all left it. Jim's on Twitter, but I'm not. And you can find us and talk to us throughout the week on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Blackdog Podcast, and send your feedback in to blackdogpodcast@geekplanetonline.com. Now, as I said, we'll try and be back for next week, but if my workload ramps up in a way that I have not foreseen, then we'll probably either bump it to next week, or we'll try bump it to the following week, or try and get in a sort of extra episode somewhere later in the week. But if just keep an eye on the Facebook group, we'll let you know what's going on. Right. So, see you all next time for Daredevil. Thank you guys for being on the cast. Thank you everyone for listening. And take care. See you soon. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Now is the time to say goodbye. Goodbye. Now is the time to yield a sigh. Yield it, yield it. Now is the time to wend our way. Until we meet again some sunny day. Goodbye, goodbye, we're leaving you, Skeletor. Goodbye, we wish you fun. Goodbye, 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 we're leaving you, Skeletor. Goodbye, we wish you fun. Goodbye.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.